hear the debate through the headsets?
Yeah. Hey guys, we're back. We're about to start streaming this again. Oh my God, the fucking music. Oh, why can you guys hear me? Check.
All right, Pearl, welcome. I'm going to ask you the same question. If you're going to change somebody's mindset,
All right. Okay. All right. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulties.
answer, I'll try to jump in as I can, but for the most part, I want you all to mix it up, all right? Have fun with it.
Sounds good.
And who is first?
I'm first.
I thought so. Anna,
Wow,
take it away.
Pearl's
We got
looking
5
very
minutes.
puritanical.
In a May 2024 appearance on Tim Pool's Culture War podcast, my opponent, Pearl Davis, declared that women aren't really doing much. We're not having kids. We're not really contributing to the economy when you look at output. In fact, she uses this ridiculous assertion to argue that women should not have the right to vote. While it's true the birth rate has
100%.
declined, and
100 fucking percent, I agree.
Women account for 47% of the American
I totally agree on that
workforce. The Council of Economic Advisors found that women have contributed a substantial portion of the U.S. economic growth since 1970, which wouldn't have been made possible without the feminist movement. By 2017, women were responsible for nearly 40% of total gross domestic product, amounting to a whopping
Right, as I will explain afterwards, I
$7.6 trillion.
And when
Of
you hear
course,
what I
that
say,
figure doesn't
it might
include
make
the
sense.
trillions of dollars in unpaid labor women do every year tending to the household, raising children, and caring for ailing parents. And when it comes to certain sectors of our economy, women are a dominant and indispensable force. Like in the healthcare industry, where they make up nearly 80% of workers, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's 16.4 million women. When it comes to education, in 1960, women earned less than 35% of all bachelor's degrees. Today, they earn roughly 58% of all bachelor's degrees, which Pearl herself benefited from after graduating from
Because more
Elmhurst
men are out
University.
doing actual man work
Women
that
also
doesn't take a
earn
fucking piece
over
of paper.
60% of master's
Yeah,
degrees.
you don't see a lot of women
I hope
in
to
the
hear
blue-collar
Pearl
field.
explain how a more educated and skilled population somehow translates to cultural decline, especially as we compete with China in this increasingly multipolar world. The modern feminist movement also had a major impact on decreasing domestic violence, and that's according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Rates of intimate partner violence decreased by more than 60% from 1994 to 2010. And that's thanks to protective order statutes and funding for shelters beginning in the 1970s and 80s.
That's such
Not
a
only
bullshit
did the
statistic.
two-income
Bullshit.
household become
Fucking
more
bullshit.
financially resilient, especially during economic downturns, women gained the ability to leave abusive relationships, an outcome correlated
wow. Here,
with
see? That's what they go
improved
to. That's the
child
first thing
health
that
and
these
educational
chicks go to.
attainment.
The
A
man is
culture that
bad.
protects
The man
people
is
from
bad. The
violence
man is
is
always
not
fucking
one
bad.
that's indicative of cultural decline. Pearl herself has benefited greatly from the feminist movement Thanks to Title IX in 1972, signed by Nixon, of course, sex-based discrimination in any school program or activity that receives federal funding is prohibited. Pearl herself had a rather impressive record playing for Elmhurst University's volleyball team, having earned all conference honors as a senior. She later pursued professional volleyball in London. She could have stayed in the United States and served in her role as a traditional woman.
Oh, Anna's going for the throat, dude.
And she
Anna's
could
going
have
for the throat, man.
been the traditional chaste woman living out her dream of everything women were supposed to do before feminism.
She seemed a little nervous.
But she is neither traditional nor chaste by her own admission. While feminists would have no problem with her personal choices, she has made a career bashing women for theirs. Critics often argue that modern feminism has weakened families and resulted in a lower birth rate.
It absolutely has.
They tend to dismiss empirical evidence demonstrating the insidious impact of the internet, social media on modern relationships. They also brush economic instability under the rug despite young people
on fucking
citing
OnlyFans?
their personal finances
Yeah.
as the main
No
reason
real
why
man
they're
wants to date a
holding
fucking
off
whore.
on marriage in the first place. In lieu of discussing those factors, Pearl spends much of her time discouraging men from getting married in the first place.
Except for Enrique.
During her debate with Trent Horn, she declared that men are better off shacking up without ever getting married.
Yep,
Her reasoning?
it absolutely is.
Women are too fat and STD infected.
25%, that's a lot.
You did say that. She didn't stop to think about how they contracted the STDs in the first place. Data from the National Library of Medicine show that modern men are just as promiscuous as modern women.
Negative.
Men and women
Negative.
are in bad shape, and in the United States,
That's bullshit. That
we
is
can
absolutely
discuss why,
bullshit.
but feminism is not the reason.
Very good. Thank you.
Feminism is totally the reason why this country's
Okay.
in the shitter.
Pearl, we got 5 minutes. You're going to be on the clock, and let's go.
Most debaters and commentators are elitists who tell average Americans from their ivory towers what to think and how to feel. My answer to this question not only comes from covering current events and researching the facts, data, and statistics, but also in my professional experience interviewing over 1,000 people in America and Western nations. Feminism has given women power, and power corrupts. And that's what's happening. Feminism is robbing men of their disposable income and their prime earning years.
Facts.
Feminism has empowered women. It has empowered women to be sexually promiscuous. Feminists say that they fought for women to not subject themselves to the approval of men. Why then are 5 to 10% of women between the ages of 18 to 25 on OnlyFans or other prostitution websites?
Thank you.
There are more online prostitutes in America than female Walmart employees. 1 of 3 women will catch an STD at some point in their lifetime. 90% will catch HPV, which is incurable. Feminism has empowered women.
Which is
to
why they
abort
want to
an
give a
eighth of the
fucking
world
1 minute old
population
baby an
and
HPV
a third
shot.
Gen Z.
A
Feminists have been
Hep
so
B shot.
empowered to commit paternity fraud.
The second out of the
Paternity
womb,
fraud
they
is
would go like, oh, Hep
unpunished
B.
in any state in the USA
Yeah,
or any
fuck you.
country in the West. If done correctly, a man will have to pay for a child he was fooled into believing was his until that child reaches maturity. In some states,
And that shit
that
does
man
happen.
will have
That happens
will also
more
have to pay
often
for
than
that
not.
kid's college. That is slavery and is forbidden under the 13th Amendment.
You know that as a
1/3
man,
of
if
paternity
you
tests
find
are
out that it
negative
isn't your
by the
kid, you
American
can't recoup any of
Association
that
of Blood
money
Banks.
Nope.
before it's on.
Feminism has empowered women to
And
rob
nothing
men.
happens to the
Rob
women.
men of their
Nope.
time, their resources, their reputation, their children, and in the most extreme cases, their lives. They do this through child support, alimony, false allegations, and paternity fraud. How many people in this arena have a brother, a father, an uncle, or a friend who has gone through this meat grinder?
Yep. Fucking
Anna
facts.
has been on the air for 15 years and is completely
20.
oblivious to these issues. It's a silent genocide of the lives of millions of men. Standing on the sidelines of the arena, I have 33-year combat veteran Terrence Popp. He served through 3 wars and was almost killed in 2. He got married, had 2 children, and served in the United States Army. Terrence Popp was deployed to Iraq in 2004, and as a member of the airborne infantry, he was wounded by a roadside bomb and suffered a TBI and a stroke from the blast. He was evacuated out of the country, and it took over 2 years until he had recovered. While he was recovering, his wife was plotting to divorce him. His wife murdered his 6-year-old chocolate lab out of spite because he filed for divorce first. When he confronted her, the response he got was, "I told you I did not want you living here." At this point, he was forced to leave the marital home and live out of his car. The divorce took away his home, his children, and left him penniless and saddled with a child support payment he could not afford. Terrence had to pay $144,000 over a 12-year period for a divorce that his wife was empowered by feminists to plan and execute. Terrence went into court to fight for 50-50 custody. Terrence was called a murderer and an assassin in open court and was given 96 hours a month with his children. 96 hours a month is not a father. While homeless, he spoke to many other men who would never get off the streets due to child support arrearages and penalties, and the men constantly getting arrested for unpaid child support. The disparage of losing his children and his home, and his PTSD and constant pain from his wounds.
Well, they make you work it off in
suicidal.
prison. I mean, in Massachusetts, they make you, it's $3 a day.
Of his came to
Until
see
somebody
him
else
to
in your life
secretly
comes
say
up with the
his
money
last
that you
goodbyes.
owe, and then you can
The
get out of
next
prison.
day,
That's the
Mr. Popp's
taxpayers
former
who's paying, 'cause
commander
you
put on his
actually-
dress
Yeah.
blues and went to the Holy National
they
Veterans Cemetery in Blues
incentive
Brains
pays
out.
for
Terrence
holding
Popp was
prisoners in jail.
notified of the
Yep.
death and was shocked because he was planning
They
to
don't
commit
care.
suicide in the exact same manner. So
Because
in
the
effect,
courts are
his former
anti-man, too.
commander
Oh, yeah.
took the
It's
bullet
proven.
that was meant for him. Terrence Popp decided he would not kill himself and has spent the last 20 years saving 576 men from suicide with comedy. If you look to the left of the stage, Terrence is holding the dog tags for every life that he has saved. Now, why am I telling you this? Shout out to Terrence, yeah. Now, why am I telling you this? Because men and American veterans are put in this position because of the empowerment that feminists like Anna have pushed for. There are millions of men that have died in this country from the political
I've
power
served
that
with a lot of
feminism
brothers that have
pushes.
gone through
Since
divorce,
1970, an
and
estimated
hammered.
1.6
Yep.
million
With
men
child
have
support.
committed suicide.
Fine. Stop there.
If feminists cared about equality, why aren't they fighting for equality in divorce and family court as hard as they are
Because
fighting
these
for
stupid
abortion,
cunts think that they fucking
working, or
deserve
becoming
something because they
sex workers?
fucking
Thank you.
spread their fucking legs a couple of times and gave a half-ass fucking blowjob.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they take that money.
this
A lot of
gonna
times,
be-
they don't even use it towards the child.
It's gonna be a heavy
No,
one.
they don't.
They use it for personal.
We're gonna go.
Yo, they
now
use it to go out drinking every fucking
open
night while they
interrogations.
pawn the kid off on
10
fucking
minutes,
family
we have our
members.
clock.
Tell me how I know that.
It's fading in right there. Okay, and take it away. 10 minutes.
Who's interrogating who?
Whoever wants to begin.
Aside from the specific anecdote that you shared, which of course is tragic,
Happens
can
more
you
often
cite
than not,
some
you
actual
fucking dumb
studies
cunt.
that look at these statistics and back up what you say in regard to the outcomes
I don't hate
of
women.
marriage
I
and
hate
divorce
feminists.
in America?
41%
Almost as much as I
of
hate Islam.
109 rape cases reported to police in a Midwestern city
I hate any
were
form of
admitted to be
feminism.
false by complainants.
In one Midwestern
I hate
city?
women's empowerment
And
because
which
this is what it
Midwestern
brought.
city was that?
You know, you can go from your ivory tower and
I'm
tell
not in an
people what
ivory
to
tower.
think
I'm
and
on
how
this
to
debate
feel.
stage interrogating your assertions, and you've only provided an anecdote.
Right.
Because
It's
if you
not-
look at the data, which I did, of course, you'll find that women are twice as likely to fall into poverty after divorce.
Right, because they can't stop
Alimony is
spending.
paid out in 10% of divorces. According to the Census Bureau, the average
Most
child support
divorces are
payment
usually,
is
started by the
$441 a month.
Not the husband.
And only 60%
Right, but how
of
much are
those
they
payments
making?
get paid out.
How much?
Women do not get child
Yeah.
custody 90%
That
of the
doesn't
time,
make any
as you
logical
have
sense
asserted
whatsoever. It
before.
takes
In fact,
Texas to take away your driver's license and say,
95%
sorry, you
of
can't work
custody
while owing
cases
child support,
are
in
mutually
which you need
agreed
to go to work
upon
to pay.
outside of the courtroom. Women
thing
get
makes no
full
sense.
custody 40% of the time. Men
Bullshit.
do get full custody
Bullshit.
20% of the time.
Bullshit.
And 40% of the time, it's shared custody. Which
Bullshit.
I think is the ideal situation, assuming
Bullshit.
that
Yeah, that is
neither
Bullshit.
spouse
That is
is
that's
abusing.
100% fucking bullshit.
And Pearl, excuse me, before you respond, if you could take your microphone out and hold it, it would be easier to hear you.
Okay.
You can definitely tell Pearl's definitely nervous out there.
Oh, she is. Without a doubt.
Alimony and medical care and dental are not covered by that, so a lot of times it does go above 50%. Again, you can go through the facts, the data, and the statistics and manipulate them any way that you want.
It's not
But
manipulation.
there are
Those are the stats.
1.6 million men in this country. Men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after a divorce.
Compared to women, what's the number for women?
It's lower.
Really? What is it?
It's much lower. Men
Comparative
commit
analysis
suicide.
is real difficult for you, isn't it?
Okay.
Come on, Pearl. Come on, Pearl.
Suicide, I believe,
Go ahead, Pearl.
What's
with
your next
women is
question?
actually a lot lower.
You have asserted that men shouldn't get
all
married,
together.
that instead they should
I didn't
shack
say
up.
that.
You did say that with
did
Trent
not say
Horn.
that.
Word for word, you said it makes more sense for them to shack up, live with a girlfriend instead of getting married. Do you think the advice that
Right,
you give to
right.
Has a
men
point
is the
there.
type of advice that will fulfill their lives?
Seuss,
Because
I
I'll tell
agree
you
with
one
you.
thing. The best part of my life is my husband. I love my husband. He's my rock. He's my foundation. And no, my husband is number one.
And I'm willing
I
to
love
bet
my
that he's
career,
a
but
cop.
you know what my career did? When I met my husband, my career was already established.
Watch, she's
He, on
gonna
the other
shit.
hand,
She's gonna
was
shit on her
couch
husband.
surfing. He was in debt and didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. I married him anyway. You want to know why? Because I had the economic
Because I
freedom
can fix
to marry
him.
for love,
Because
not
I
for
can
some
fix him.
Chad to take care of me.
How tall is he?
Oh, he's 6'1", about your height. None. I don't want kids.
I don't-
Let's
Why
not
don't-
do
Yeah,
shouting
there's the problem
questions
right
from
there.
there, please. Allow these two to debate each other.
Okay, what's your question?
I mean, you don't really have much to answer, so I don't know what else to ask you. Do you think you're helping men by discouraging them from entering fulfilling marriages?
What
Yes.
happens to men
How
if
is
they
she
don't pay
talking about
child
it,
support?
her marriage is fulfilling when
I mean,
there's
what
no
happens?
procreation?
What
Right.
happens,
Like,
Anna?
who carries on your
How many
husband,
men
her
do you think
husband's
get
legacy?
What
arrested?
happens
I don't
to
know
men
what the
when they
number
don't
is.
get-
When he
But the
dies,
idea
happens
that there's like
to
a
men
huge
when they
number
don't
of men
with
getting
him?
arrested for not doing what they're supposed to do.
Ask her
and
if
take care of
she's
their
got a
children.
fucking prenup.
It's not a huge issue.
Ask her when she married her husband
What
if she had him
happens to
sign a
men when they don't
prenup.
Really,
Child support.
only
We'll see.
60% of
Hold on,
child
hold on,
support
hold on,
payments
Anna.
get paid out.
You gotta allow her to interrogate you, not them. You gotta stop yelling questions
Look,
at her.
you can minimize men's problems all you want, but I don't think you understand how privileged of a position you're in.
In what way? How am I privileged?
Men are the ones that are on the hook for child support. Men are the ones that are on the hook for alimony. It's easy for you to tell men to just take the risk when you're not in that position.
So are you asserting that men shouldn't pay child
Men-
support following a divorce?
Fucking right. No,
Do you
they
believe
shouldn't.
that
Feminist-
women should
feminists
be
want it.
financially
Feminists-
responsible 100%
No.
after
Feminists
divorce?
No,
want
bullshit.
to
It should be
equal.
50-50.
So
Fuck
I say
you.
be equal. If you guys want
Thank you.
equality, 50-50 custody, no child support, no alimony, no special privileges.
Alimony is paid out in 10%
It doesn't
of
matter if
divorces.
you're part of the
it does matter.
10%.
It does matter
It
because you make
doesn't
it
matter if
seem
you're part
like
of the 10%.
it's a widespread issue when
The
it's
tender
only
years
10%.
doctrine is a sexist law against men. That's sexist.
How is it sexist
Where-
if a
where have you
woman
guys-
decided
it assumes-
to
it
forego a
assumes
career,
that-
decided to be a stay-at-home mother,
Forego her career.
and the marriage doesn't work out, she has no job, she has no income, so you think it's unfair to get support from her ex-husband so she can
You're
raise the
talking about
kids?
in a very
60%,
small fucking percentage of.
of kids under 5 have daycare. Daycare is an option now. You wanted to be men.
Do you know how much daycare
you wanted,
costs?
You wanted to be men. Here you
Do you know how
have
much
it.
daycare
You gotta let her
costs?
answer.
Do you think it's
You're not
free?
letting her answer. Let her answer.
A lot of things are expensive, Anna. I mean, it's
That's,
men.
that's not an answer.
Women
Men should
have
not be
85%
responsible
of
for
consumer
100%
spending. Women spend
of
money all the
fucking
time. You
child
spend money
support
on hair
and
dye,
a
you spend
woman's
money on
bills.
Botox,
If
spend
you-
money
You should
on
think
the-
about it.
on
Women
the-
use men as a fucking piggy bank so that they can live their lifestyle, especially
sure
if both of them are working at the same time, okay? And they made it work
You
before.
spend money all of the
If
time.
child support, if
So,
child care is
you wanted to be men,
$400
here
a
it
month,
is. You're
the guy should
equal.
be paying
Pay for
200.
daycare.
The woman should be paying 200.
Equality
Absolutely.
means that when you
But
have a
in
child
most times,
or
it's not even
children,
like that.
you're
No,
both
it's not. The guy pays it
responsible.
all.
So the
have to
idea
pay
that
for
the
the
woman
child
should
support. He'll
take
have to pay for the
100%
Yep.
He'll have to-
of the
then
costs on
after paying for all that,
herself
then still
without
pay child
any
support.
help from
Right.
her husband or ex-husband is ridiculous.
Get me on this
How is that fair?
motherfucking stage with
Well,
this
how is
bitch
it
right
fair
now.
that he doesn't get 50-50
Get me fucking
custody?
on this motherfucking stage with her.
First of all,
Get me on this motherfucking stage.
why are you asserting that they don't?
It's 50% his DNA. Why can't he have 50% custody? Where
There
have
was a
feminists
study.
been? I've been
Let
on
me answer
20
your question, even though I
different-
should be interrogating you.
I
I'll answer
swear
your
to
question.
God.
Massive study out of Massachusetts that looked at 24,000
No.
divorces.
She is quoting
those
things from
25 divorces,
Massachusetts.
they found
Every
that in
single
only
fucking stat from
8% of
Massachusetts.
cases
Take it from
did
somebody who
men
lived there for
ask
29
for custody.
motherfucking years.
8%.
Right,
Every
because the
single
average
goddamn
American
stat in
can't afford
Massachusetts is
divorce
skewed.
fees, Anna.
But women
It
can
costs
afford to raise the
$25,000 to
children
get a
by themselves
divorce.
without support from the ex-husband.
Oh,
How does that make sense?
What did you say? I didn't hear.
A man should not be responsible
You're
and on the
complaining about
hook
the
for
costs
100% of
while
a woman's
simultaneously arguing
fucking lifestyle.
that a woman
period.
should not get child
Especially
support in
when
order to raise the
85%,
children
that's what I was looking at.
had
85%
Are you guys
of
equal or
all
not?
divorces.
You wanted to
Yes,
be
Were
equal.
equality
initiated by
means that you're
women.
both responsible
Women.
for raising the children, and
Right.
that
Not the
includes
guys,
costs of
women.
raising the
Equality,
children.
but not at the
Oh, he
expense
took
of
his
men.
socks off the wrong way. I can't
50-50
stand him.
custody.
And most of and
50,
90% of
50.
those, that
No
85%
child support,
of those
no alimony.
divorces,
That's equality.
90%
You
of
don't-
them
Alimony makes sense if
were
the
within
woman
the
is a
first
stay-at-home
5
mother
years.
and doesn't have a source of income. How else would
And
she
most of
take
those,
care of the
they end
kids
up
following
regretting
a
it after
divorce?
they
By
do it.
getting a job just like the men.
Because they think the grass is going to be greener on the other side, and it turns out.
Oh,
it isn't
all right.
most
Pearl
of the time.
just dropped the mic on
So
her.
you're saying that a woman who doesn't have recent job history is just going to willy-nilly enter the job force or workforce, I should say, and easily get hired. Do you guys care
Men
about
do
this?
it.
So do you care about the children or not? Because you're making this about like the
What
poor
are you, a woman? That's an
husband, the
emotional
poor
argument.
ex-husband who doesn't want to pay the child support, doesn't want, to take on any of the responsibilities of having children in the first place. Why is it that you seem to have a problem with men carrying out their responsibilities, but when it comes to
men are dying to care about their responsibilities. Men
Really?
are fighting to be a part of their kids' lives.
what's the empirical data on that?
That is true.
I don't need data. How many people in here have had a family or a friend fight for their kid and not be able to get it?
Facts.
The reason that this happens,
That's-
Anna,
I
is
fought my
because
There's one right here.
parents tell them
This
I fought
motherfucker's
for
been
my
trying
daughter.
for
fight
9
because
months to
it's so
see his kid.
expensive and they won't win.
And don't
What
ever
is that
think
based
it
on?
took me forever. And
You have to provide, look, Pearl, I am open to be convinced.
There's another headset
but
over
I
there.
need more than anecdotes. I need more than vibes and feelings. Because we're talking about something serious
What?
here. We're talking about raising children. We're talking about the
balls.
shared responsibility of raising children. That, of
No
course,
balls.
includes
90%
the cost.
of disputed custody goes to women. That's not equal.
90%. That's a totally made up statistic. Where are you citing that from?
All right, let's take a break there because our time actually ran up. Those opening interrogations are over. Let's take a moment here. You guys want to grab a sip of water?
Pearl is definitely nervous.
All right. The next step
I
is
think
going to
she's
be,
doing pretty well. She's
30
holding.
Yeah,
her
but
own.
it seems
We're gonna open it up.
She's vastly different than the
again, open
the
debate.
videos I see.
Remind you guys, I know everyone's passionate about this. I get that. But we can't have multiple people debating at the same time, right? We've got one debater here. We got one debater here. Let's keep it here. All right? Let's put 30 minutes on the clock. And let's begin the open debate. Pearl, I'll let you pick up here. Go ahead.
What happens to men when they don't pay child support?
There are consequences for it, especially when
Which
there's a
are?
court order for them to
Which
carry
are?
out their responsibility and pay child support so that child can be raised.
And what happens
Do you
if they
think
don't
there
pay
shouldn't
it?
be legal responsibilities or legal consequences if they fail to carry out a court order to, take care of their kids?
I've interviewed men that have paid millions of dollars in
Don't
child
care about your
support and
interviews.
married-
Anecdotal evidence doesn't matter. What I need is actual, statistic, empirical evidence. They should pay their child support. $441
What happens-
is the average child support payment. $441 a month.
Based on what and where? Because it ain't like that in fucking
For
Massachusetts,
someone that
Connecticut,
makes
Rhode Island.
$24,000
Or
a
New
You
year.
just
Jersey.
told me a woman
New
can
Jersey,
just go to
New
work
York,
and take care of
California.
the kids totally by herself.
How does a guy live when he's paying $500 a month on $24,000 a year?
You think $500 a month is too much in child support? Do you know how much it costs to raise a child? Do you know
Look,
how much
A lot of times that's
childcare costs, for instance?
You don't even know what it
that
costs because
mother
you don't
has to
have
go to
any
work,
fucking
right?
kids.
Where's the
You
kid
barren
going to
womb
stay while that
douchebag.
mother is working? How is she going to pay for the
What happens to men when they don't
daycare?
pay child support?
Sorry, say that again.
What happens to men when they don't pay child support?
There are legal repercussions for not
What-
carrying out a court
Okay.
mandate
Do you think
to
that
do something.
Do you
I
think
can
that fraud
answer
should
that
be
for
illegal?
her. They
Absolutely.
go to jail.
Okay. So why is it not illegal for women to fraud men on paternity? If a man does not find out he's the father over the age of 2, he is on the hook for child support for 18 years.
I don't
Why-
know
where
what
have
the
you
law
been on
is
this
when it
issue?
comes to
A
that.
third-
But it's
a-
wrong.
No,
If
that
you're
is-
lying about paternity, that is wrong, and there should be legal
Well,
consequences
why
for
haven't
that.
feminists fought?
It's that simple.
Then why
Feminists
aren't
don't fight for
feminists
that
fighting
because
for it, Anna?
they get away with it.
Because feminists fight for women, obviously.
Right, that's my point.
Yeah.
At the expense of men.
Good fucking point there.
You guys want to believe women at the expense of men. Why isn't Amber Heard in jail? Because of the Me Too movement. You guys pushed believing all rape victims, and now we have rape.
Amber
and now
Heard
Am-
had to pay
Johnny-
out a
Johnny-
massive
Let her
settlement.
continue her statement.
Yeah, but why isn't she in jail?
You want her in jail?
Yes.
Well,
She ruined
the
his
penalties
life.
for defamation are what the court's decision is, right? You want people to go to prison for defamation?
He had to go to 2 different countries to clear his name. Why
okay.
isn't she in jail? He lost millions of dollars.
To be clear, you think the penalty for defamation is prison time?
I think the penalty for a false accusation is that the woman should get the same time that he would have gotten if he was found guilty.
Men
Yeah.
don't go to prison for defamation.
But how many men actually
And see,
do
this is
that?
the
They
problem with
don't.
feminists. You want all these
Most
freedoms,
men
but you
don't.
won't actually
Most
be equal.
most men don't.
I do
Be
want
equal.
equality.
No, if you wanted to be equal, you would fight for 50-50 child support, no alimony.
Women don't deserve alimony.
No alimony.
No alimony. Absolutely not. Fuck
So
you.
again, if a woman decided to forego working, decided to stay home to raise the children, and the marriage
Listen,
doesn't work out,
I have never
she's
been
got
married.
no income
I've made it this long
whatsoever.
without ever being
she
married
doesn't
once.
deserve any
Women aren't even
alimony.
See, I
doing
have
that.
been married
Number
and
one,
I
that's
am
not even a
happens
women
to
are
be
not staying home
divorced.
with the kids. And number
And-
2, you have
No,
daycare.
a lot of women
You
do
have-
these days.
You
actually,
have daycare as
the
a choice.
the traditional
I'll
women
never,
who want to
ever,
stay
ever,
home, they
ever
want to
get
be
fucking
traditional
married, bro.
wives.
Oh, no, I'll never
And
do
you
that
trash
I
them
made
all
it
the
this
time,
far
which I
without
don't
getting
understand.
married. I don't need to.
It seems like women
Actually,
can't do
I'm
anything
told
right
that
when
I'm-
it comes to you,
somebody's
right?
If
gonna
They're
be
feminists-
flying
stay-at-home
over here
moms,
from the
they're
Hague to
traditional,
divorce me.
they're-
I didn't even know I was
I
married.
understand,
But I guess
but
I'm
you
married, and
personally
she's going to come over here and
attack
divorce
I'm
me
not
because she didn't like my
personally
beard
attacking you.
brush.
These are things that you have said on the record multiple times.
Well, it is a nice beard.
But
brush.
if you cared about equality, you would care
Your beard
about
does
false
look
accusations.
I know my beard's pretty
I
epic.
do
It
care
doesn't
about
look like
false
this without the
accusations.
fucking
No, you
beard
don't.
brush. So I don't
You
know what
don't
the fuck
know
you want me
me.
to tell
You
you.
don't know what
you
I
like
care
my beard?
about.
Well, there's things that go
All right.
into it.
Let's talk about
Sorry,
rights that
we'll go
men
back
do
to
not
this.
have.
I'll make jokes
Men
later.
do not have the right to be enlisted in selective service. You know, we have 125K men who were drafted and buried overseas. Think about that over a second. You talk about the oppressions of the past, but how many men died in World War I and World War II and had no choice? And yet Anna complains about oppression. Men
gotta
do not have
rethink
the
our
right to
foreign
face
policy.
their accuser in court when they have a false allegation and for personal protection orders that strips constitutional rights away from the man. Women go before a judge and say they don't feel safe, and more than likely a PP order will be issued. The man was not in court, had no say, has no defense, and does not get to face his accuser. That is done en masse, and many servicemen and first responders lose their careers over this because it strips a man's Second Amendment rights away based on no evidence. Men
Where are
do
you
not have
getting
the
that
right to
information
raise
from?
their children.
Yeah, I think she's
Divorce
very
is
nervous to be
is
in the
no
limelight.
fault,
This is
but when it
definitely
comes to
this is
child
very
custody,
different
it's
than
always
being
the
in a
man's fault.
pre-recording
He loses his children to the
space
system.
in a studio. This is
96
live
hours a
in front of
month
an
the father
audience. I don't
does
think
not
she's
make.
used to it.
Men have longer
You can
prison
tell she's
sentences.
She's spitting-
Women get
she's
a third of the
spitting
time
truth.
for the same crime. Where are the feminists fighting for equality on that issue? There There has been rampant discrimination against better qualified men in hiring
And
across
honestly,
multiple
the
industries.
holding
Men
the
pay more
paper,
child support,
reading
and
the
child
paper and
support
not
orders
being
are not
prepared
enforced
is
at the same
not a good
rates
look.
between men and women.
Yeah,
Women are
definitely.
more likely
Oh, women pay
not
child
to
support.
pay
Fascinating.
and are prosecuted for non-payment at lower rates. Men cannot opt out of parenthood. Men have very few domestic violence shelters and are
I've
not
always thought
taken
about that.
seriously
If a
when they're
woman
domestic
can
violence
decide
victims.
to have an
I agree
abortion
on that.
by
Men,
herself,
I do
white
agree
men
on
in
that.
Then why
particular,
shouldn't a
are
man have the
discriminated
right
against
to
when it
decide
comes to
whether or not he
hiring
wants to
and
pay child
educational attainment.
True.
The Duluth model is a model
so
that
I have to
law
disagree even
enforcement,
with the chat on
court,
this.
and
Men can't be
counselors
abused by
use
women.
automatically that assumes men are the aggressor.
Well, wait a minute, what's
The
that
tender
abuse
years
talking about?
doctrine is a guideline in divorce.
Well, first of all,
used to
men cannot be
justify
raped by women.
Removing the father from
not
the
even
child's
possible.
life.
Not possible.
The
It's
only
not possible.
institutional sexism that exists is institutional
Because if a guy
sexism
did
that
get raped by a
discriminates
woman,
against
can you
men in
imagine, as a
favor of
guy,
women.
going home and telling your wife,
Furthermore,
I was raped by
U.S.
another
courts
woman?
do not
you
require
honestly,
receipts to
how
show
many
how that
women
money
on
was
this
spent by
planet,
the
right now,
custodial
chat,
parent, unless there's overwhelming
tell me,
evidence
how
of
many
starvation, malnutrition, or
women
severe
on this
child
planet
abuse.
would be like,
There are
oh my
numerous
God, honey, I
reports
feel
of
so bad for you,
You
you
want
got
the
raped by a
government
woman.
to check
None of
receipts
you
and
women would
see,
fucking
like-
believe your
Let's let
man
me
if you,
respond to
if,
some of that.
Hold on, let's understand something. You want government to be so big
I'm waiting for the chat to
that
fucking
you
blow
literally
up right
have
now.
the government looking
wouldn't
at
be
receipts
surprised.
to see
Yeah,
what
see?
a mother is
Thank you.
spending
That's
the
my
money
point.
on.
So men,
That's insane.
yes,
I want
men
no
can
child
probably
support,
be
no
raped by a
alimony,
woman.
50-50.
Be
Yeah,
put in a
because you're crazy
situation
and
where
you
they
don't
don't
live in
want to
reality.
be in, but they're nervous or
equality.
whatever.
I'm more of a feminist
But you
than
know
you,
what?
Anna.
My point was proven, and that doesn't mean I'm not saying you're a bad person
Because
by that.
I say if you
no
want to vote,
woman,
be in
no
selective
woman's going to
service,
believe a
be on the
guy
front lines, just
under
like
any
the men are.
circumstances that he was raped
Who
by
do you
another
think
woman.
gives birth to and raises those soldiers?
Oh, I like how she's flipping.
What does
this
that have to
right
do
now.
with anything?
Because you assert that women shouldn't be allowed to vote because they're not all in mandatory military service.
I say be equal. You want to vote, do what the men do. Men are fined
Should women be included in
$125,000.
combat?
Men
Should women
are
be
fined-
included in combat?
Yes.
Okay.
Do what the men
Fair.
do.
Honestly,
Fair.
they
Do
shouldn't,
what the men do.
but
Yeah, fair. Agreed.
I guess that's just
Next.
because I have a brain and realize that
Next? Nothing?
woman
Okay.
is not as capable as far as in
I want to know
any type
what
of hand-to-hand
your
combat is
ideal
necessary
woman is.
Yep.
against
Because
another
if
man.
you are
It's
a
not-
traditional conservative woman who's married, staying at
But I'm not
home,
saying not
raising
all women
kids, you
can't
trash
beat men.
them.
There's
There
no
are
such thing as a
the
traditional
exceptions,
woman.
But
They cannot
putting money
be
on here. I'm
traditional in
throwing my money on a man
2025
whipping
because
a woman's
women will
ass.
always have the leverage.
it has to go hand to hand.
What does that mean? What does it mean that women
Because-
will always have the leverage?
99.9% of the time.
Women have child support to fall
And
back
the
on.
way you
Women have
take-
alimony. So automatically
10% of divorces end with alimony settlements. 10%.
and they go
Donna, that
You
was
just
good.
ignore the
from,
stats.
they
That was
go
good.
from
Move on.
men to women.
That was good.
They go from men to women. Billions of dollars every
I
year.
thought you said earlier that
billions
women
of
are paying
dollars of-
alimony.
Billions of dollars of wealth every year is transferred from men to women. Through the-
Based on
through-
what? Where are you
through
getting that
family
information from?
court.
You're just making it up?
Look, we have it. We're excited. We can get it to you at the end. You didn't want to submit. Where are your sources? You didn't want to submit them ahead of time. You did.
The Census Bureau, Bureau of Labor Statistics. I cited everything I mentioned.
85% of marriages
Pearl,
within the first 5 years.
the main thing I want people
end
to
in
understand,
divorce.
okay? Pearl's gonna trash women no
85%
matter
of
what.
them.
That's fine.
I'm not trashing
But
them.
my biggest gripe with you is you're discouraging people from entering
No, not people,
marriages.
women.
I
Women.
don't tell men what to do. Sell me on.
You
okay,
advise
Anna,
men to avoid marriage.
sell me
And
on
she's not
marriage.
wrong.
What do
And
men
she's
get
not
out of
wrong.
marriage?
That's sad. It's
We
sad
get-
that people think that. It
No, we
really
get
is.
nothing out
you
of
get
marriage.
a partner, you get a teammate,
No, we get
you
some
get to
fucking
build a
hen
life
pecking bitch
together,
going
and it's beautiful.
constantly,
Wait,
constantly,
did she just say that
constantly.
you get to
Never
build a
shuts
life
the
together?
fuck
I feel
up.
like misery
The first
loves
thing in the
company
morning,
in
you're
this
running your fucking
situation.
mouth. If we got to get up at fucking 5 o'clock in the morning to go to fucking work on a fucking job site, the last thing we ever want
And
to do
how
is
would
hear.
you know what you get out of marriage if you
First thing
haven't
in the
experienced
fucking
marriage
morning,
in the first
shut the
place?
fuck up.
I'm not saying that as a personal attack. I really hope that Pearl meets the love of her life
And then the
and get
guys are
married. It's
complaining
not
about
that.
everything all
But
day
you
long.
trash
And then
it
on top of
without
that,
really
and then on top of that,
understanding what
if
the
you're
benefits are.
premenopausal, menopausal, or fucking postmenopausal, you're a
do we
fucking
have
goddamn
phrases like it's
motherfucking
cheaper to keep?
nutbag.
Pearl,
You complain about everything. You fucking listen. What do I get out of it? And then
divorce
You know what?
is
Listen,
expensive.
I'm
And
going to mute
by the
this
way,
to say
on
this
purpose
real
to
quick.
discourage people from getting divorced in the first place.
Actually, divorce
I
really
can't-
isn't that expensive.
It's not letting.
Why do we have phrases like happy wife, happy life?
Because it's true.
Oh,
Same with happy husband, happy
Bullshit.
life. I don't want to come home to an angry husband.
Then stop being a cunt.
But that's not a phrase.
Do you have any
is it?
other like
I'm pretty sure her
catchphrase
husband
or
is probably not
slogan
happy
you
that
want to
he'll
throw at
never
me?
have a child.
What do men get out of marriage?
They get a partner.
That gains 25 pounds in the first.
Men get pretty fat too. I don't know if you've done a comparative analysis on that. They actually end up gaining more weight than their wives do. And who cares?
So I got to tell you,
Men.
there's a scientific study
I mean,
that,
have a
that's been done,
conversation with your partner.
and they found that there's a
Encourage her.
food that
How
Be an
can
adult.
dramatically
men and women be
decreases
equal?
by
Especially if she's
75%.
having children.
Dramatically decreases a woman's sex
drive.
drive.
To die for the other.
It's called wedding cake.
I don't expect anyone to die for anyone else. I don't know what that even comes
Yeah,
from.
but men are willing to die for you every day. The men in the police force, the men in the military.
What about the women in the police force?
They're not. They're 10%, and they cause so,
So
many
what?
problems.
Who cares?
Women should not
what
be in law
percentage
enforcement.
Women make up of the police force. They're
Women
in the
should not
police
be in
force.
law
My
enforcement.
sister-in-law's a cop, actually.
They
Aw,
can't. They
poor-
can't do the same jobs. There's videos on the internet
see my
everywhere of
sister-in-law.
women getting their guns taken because they're not strong enough.
Are you just making things up?
Actually, no, she's not.
No, she's not. Not even close. Just making things up. There is no way the
Bro,
most
what are you doing? Like,
highly trained
seriously.
woman
Next
going
question.
up against a highly trained man is going to survive that encounter. Bullshit.
Just look at this. If Anna was a cop and she had a gun pulled on me, I'm sorry. I'm
laughing.
I'm laughing.
Do you realize how good you have it in this country?
Absolutely. Best country in the world.
And you get to live the life you live at the expense of men.
No, that's not true.
That
The
is
fuck
true.
it's
Fucking
not.
shit.
Show me how.
Bullshit.
Who fucking created this country?
Do you know how many men
Men.
die every year? Just to,
Building the houses. Do you know how many women framers there are?
there are men that die every year.
I've only met one
to get
woman
you
in
fat.
construction, and she was
How
doing
many
finish
women
work.
die
I have
every year
never, in
during
30
childbirth?
motherfucking years,
Not many.
ever seen a woman on a fucking framing
This
crew.
country
I know they
has
exist.
the highest maternal mortality rate of any developed country. So a lot of women do die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, yes.
Well, yeah. I doubt that you're going to see a lot of men dying from childbirth, considering that we can't give fucking birth.
Yeah, no shit. Well, I mean, see, that's the problem. The left and feminists think they can. They've allowed trannies to fucking
This is
overtake their
painful, man.
fucking movement. Come on, let's go, ladies. Let's go. We're falling asleep here. Let's go.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Not right now.
All right.
Let me on this
move
motherfucking
on?
stage.
Like, what are we
Let
doing
me
now?
on this stage.
Can I ask
Oh
a
my
couple
God.
questions?
Let me go up there and
Absolutely.
debate that woman right now.
Let's jump in here.
Let me fucking
So,
do it.
Why don't we do this? I'll ask you one, and then I'll ask you one, and we'll kind of go back and forth. I kind of half jokingly said at the beginning, like Pearl had mentioned. I think you
I
actually
wonder
said it here
if
too.
Pearl
you
is
believe
actually,
you may be more of a feminist.
Did she practice
Do you
ahead of time?
consider yourself to be a
I don't
feminist?
know.
And how would you define that?
I would
don't consider
fucking
myself
go
to
up
be
there
a
and I would.
feminist, mainly because it's a loaded word, and there are certain outcomes from certain waves of feminism that I don't agree with.
So, Linda,
particularly
We are at
minimizing
a,
the importance of
place
men
called
in society. I do
ACX1
think that
Studios
there
in
is,
Atlantic
you know,
City.
especially the
This is
third
called
wave of
Word
feminism that's
War
done that.
Word, not World.
I
Word War
personally
Debate.
really value
And
masculine
it's
men,
a
and I
televised
don't appreciate
debate between
feminists speaking
leftists
on behalf
and
of all
righties.
women in regard
And
to what
we
women
are
prefer.
restreaming it
I think
while
the
we're
Me
in
Too
the building.
movement started off
We're actually
as
in the
a
building right now.
legitimate
We're on the other
grievance
side
with women who were
of
legitimately
the stage.
abused, and it devolved
And,
into something laughable.
so- and we've been doing this
ridiculous,
all day.
especially when someone like Aziz Ansari gets accused of being like some sort of sexual predator when he clearly wasn't. So I just don't like how loaded that word is. What I actually genuinely want is
I wanna get
equality
on this
among the
fucking stage
sexes.
right
I'm not
now.
looking for women to have an upper hand over men at all.
Oh, the fuck you're
but
not.
we need to be based in reality, and we need to look at the statistics and figure out what's really going on. If men are getting a raw deal as a result of divorces, then yeah, the laws need to change. And I genuinely thought
those
prior
laws-
to this debate that they were getting the raw end of the deal. But as I researched this, I realized I was believing in outdated myths.
Yeah, I honestly
So,
believe
yeah.
like she's
Let me
like,
get on
okay,
this
let me
motherfucking
ask you
stage
this.
right now.
Do you believe and obviously you are citing a lot of anecdotal stories. I do think it's fair to point out
Yeah.
every anecdotal story is someone's
We're
story,
here for,
right? So
we've
they're
been
not
here for a very long
fake
time.
stories, and they're not meaningless, obviously, to the people who live those
I
realities.
want to
In a lot of
get
cases,
on
they're
this
very painful.
fucking stage right now.
Because of your platform,
What?
you speak to a lot of those people. How much is that informing where you're coming from in this debate is the real stories of people who have been hurt by this stuff?
I mean, I've interviewed 1,000 people. I interviewed a guy who had his kid transitioned and there was nothing he could do about it. I interviewed another guy and he spent $300,000 trying to get his kid back. He actually went overseas to Ukraine during the war, just trying to be in his kid's life. So yeah, it impacts it a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've interviewed so many men that want nothing more than to just be a dad and see their kid. They don't even care about the money. They just want to see their children. And if you
I'm
ask
gonna
Anna,
get
it
up there and
doesn't
ask a
exist,
question.
but if you ask any man, like everybody knows somebody that it's happened to. And commentators can, they can try to minimize it. They can talk from their ivory towers and pretend it's not happening, but there's a genocide of millions of men that's going on in this country.
When you use the
A
word, I
genocide?
was going to say, go ahead.
1.6 million men commit suicide, have committed suicide since 1970.
Similar rates of women also attempt suicide but fail because they usually
Because
don't
they're too
resort to
stupid.
more violent
because-
means of ending their own lives.
Right,
So they'll
but
take
why,
pills.
But why is that? Why is it that every time we bring up men, you have to bring up women?
Because we're doing a comparative analysis here. You can't just throw out
Right,
statistics
right,
without
but
comparing
it's-
it
what
to
I'm-
what
I'm
the rates
pointing
are
out-
among women.
What I'm pointing out is, I just pointed out that by 2050, more men will have committed suicide than all of the world wars combined. And your first response was, well, women commit suicide too.
Because it is a problem that is inflicting both sexes
All
in
of
this
my
country.
followers,
It is a
which
tragedy
are
and should be
not
taken
followers.
seriously.
You know what? I don't
rather
call
than
them
this
followers.
weird
All my
but it's
supporters,
sex
everybody that watches
war.
my show,
But it's not
everybody
gonna
that
be
comments on
taken
my stuff,
seriously when you pretend it's
everybody
not
knows I
going on.
appreciate them.
It is going
but they
on.
are
Are you
all
kidding
the
me?
devils on
I
my
mean, how
shoulder.
many of our soldiers, our veterans,
telling me to
come
go
back to the
storm the
United
mic.
States after multiple deployments,
They all wanna
do
see me
not
do
get
it.
treatment or help with PTSD and other mental issues
Yeah,
as
you
a
and me
result
both,
of being
Zeus.
deployed
You and me
multiple
both.
times.
Right.
Like, that's a real problem.
These little
How come
fucking
you don't talk
devils
about
on my
that?
shoulder
Yeah, but
here.
You blame it on marriage and
Somebody
divorce
put devil
instead.
emojis in the
Because those
fucking
soldiers come
chat.
home to an empty house.
You think that divorce
They're
is the reason for most of
men are
these
9
suicides?
times men are 9 times more likely to commit suicide after
How many
a
more
divorce.
times likely are women to commit suicide after
a lot
a
less.
divorce?
What about the women?
You don't know
right?
the number,
Even
right?
Ben.
Because you
What
didn't even
about-
care to look
what-
into it.
What about the women, though? That's always what you go to. And that's kind of what I'm trying to point out is feminists don't care about male issues. They don't. They do not care about equality. Because whenever you ask them for real equality,
Pearl, my point is that suicide is not just a male issue. It is a huge problem in this country. Women who try to end their own lives are less successful because, again, they're less likely to use a gun, for instance, or hang themselves. They'll take pills, it'll fail. It's just a tragic thing all around. But if you actually care about suicide rates, then you would want to know what's causing the suicide rates or the attempts at suicide.
Divorce.
What can we do as a society to help people to prevent that from happening? And you wouldn't make it specifically and solely an issue that inflicts one sex over the other.
Again, I mean, you're just proving my point because we talk about male issues, you keep bringing it back to the women. Look,
I just want
I
you
mean-
to compare the stats you're spewing right now
Okay.
with something to compare it to.
Okay. Do you think that women should be on the front lines of the military like the men?
if they can pass the physical test necessary to do so,
think,
yeah.
Do you think women should be in selective service?
I wonder if
the
the
men.
camera's going to catch me or
Yes,
not.
yeah.
Okay, and they should be on the front lines as infantrymen.
If they are physically capable of
Fuck
doing
it,
it,
I'm doing
yes.
Okay, so no.
So you want to put people who aren't physically capable, I mean, obese men wouldn't be put on the front lines.
Do you think women should be jailed for false accusations?
Depends on what the false accusations are. If
Just
she's
yes or
falsely
no?
accusing someone of rape, for
Just
instance,
yes. Or no?
yes.
Just okay. Thank you. I agree. Do you think that child custody should be 50-50?
As long as the court determines that both parents are capable of being caretakers, yes. In fact, that's the ideal situation.
Okay, so yes.
Yes.
All right, do you believe in alimony?
I believe in alimony in specific cases where the woman decided to forego having a career and working, decided to stay home and raise the kids. In those cases, I believe she deserves alimony, yes.
But that's a privilege.
You're ridiculous. Anyway, next, move
wait,
on.
You said it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous,
That it's a privilege
especially,
to stay home with your
coming
kids.
from a girl who grew up in an affluent situation with incredibly wealthy parents. You don't know anything about struggling economically or financially. So to tell a single mother who decided to stay home and raise her children instead of work that she doesn't deserve a penny to raise her kids after a divorce is the most privileged piece of shit thing to say.
This is
Next.
this is the type of nagging that drives men to suicide.
Good. But I'm married and you're not, so. Next.
Jesus Christ. I get it.
A little harder to debate someone who's not an OnlyFans girl, right? Never. I don't need to. Not that I'm judging.
It's why isn't paternity fraud illegal?
We've been over this already.
It's estimated 6% of men are fathering children that are not theirs.
I don't really believe your stats. Like, where are you getting that
The American Blood
stat
Bank
from?
Association. Are you happy?
Okay,
1/3 of
that's wrong.
paternity
And yeah,
tests.
there should be consequences for that.
But there aren't.
Okay.
But there are. Where
And there
have the
should be. So
feminists
we agree
been?
on that. Next.
Right? You can agree, but you haven't covered it. And that's my point, is you guys don't care about equality. You want freedom at the expense of men.
Okay, sure. Next.
Do you think that men should have the right to opt out of fatherhood, since women have the right to opt out of motherhood?
No. Put a condom on. You don't want to have children, put a condom on.
Or require him to wear a condom. That's equal.
Yeah.
That choice is equally irresponsible.
He's the one with the Johnson. He gets to decide what he does with it.
I think I'm more of a feminist than you.
Sure. Go great. Congratulations. This is the longest 30 minutes of my life.
Okay, I'm going to interject again if I can.
All right.
I was kidding. So one thing that I do think is happening is that there is a shift that is taking place in America, and I think you both have alluded to this a little bit. And so I'll ask Anna first if you would agree with this. Because you said that going into this debate, you thought a lot of these things were true.
Right.
And you started to see that maybe these things were not as true as you had believed. Do you believe that your previous belief was informed by nonsense, or the fact that states and legislatures and courts are changing what they're doing over the last few years in terms of alimony and parental time and that kind of thing?
I think that with more women participating in the workforce, it's hard to argue that, women should get paid alimony when they have their own income. So yeah, I think that the culture has changed, the workforce has changed, and as a result of that, the courts weigh whether or not something like alimony makes sense. And look, much like Pearl, I had heard the horror stories, and I was basing much of my worldview on situations like this based on anecdotes, basically. And so when you look at the statistics and the broader picture, you have a clearer idea of what's actually happening in the aftermath of a divorce.
Would you be willing to concede at least that maybe some of the reasons some of these things are shifting is because of people like Pearl and others who are drawing attention to these stories? Because I think we could all agree that until recently, a lot of those stories were just stories you'd hear from other people, and it was not allowed in media at all. It was not discussed. Would you at least concede that?
I'm sure that there are advocates who have fought to maybe change the way these court cases play out, sure. I don't know about Pearl, though.
I understand. We're in the debates. You can't give too much credit. Pearl, in your experience, the men that you talk to, do you see a difference in terms of the age of those men, where maybe it's getting better for some? Because I would take it that some of the guys who are a little older and have been through this in the past, the courts are starting to recognize and realize that maybe it's not very fair.
No.
No?
No.
Why, and why do you believe that? You think the courts are completely
I mean,
oblivious
there's men that write into my show every day just talking about how much they want to be fathers. So I hope it changes, but right now I would say no.
Do you think it's fair that all of the young women who were preyed upon as minors by Jeffrey Epstein are now experiencing yet another administration engaging in a cover-up? Or was it the female's fault for being preyed upon by a disgusting pedophile? I'm just curious.
What kind of question is that?
I think it's a pretty straightforward one.
That has nothing to do with the topic.
No, it does, though, because you're talking about the unfairness of our court system, especially as it pertains to divorces. But we're talking about a guy who got a sweetheart deal after raping minor girls, and then even after that, multiple administrations, Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter, engaged in a cover-up, ensuring that those victims would never get justice.
And this has to do with this.
I mean, you want to talk about the unfairness in the court system and how terrible it is for men. What about how terrible it is for women?
Look, that has nothing to do with anything.
It has a lot to do
I
with
think
what
in
we're
fairness,
talking about.
you got to admit that's an anecdote too in comparison to the overall statistics.
It's a pretty big anecdote.
He's a big anecdote, but he's also an untouchable anecdote, right? He's
I don't
a
think
little
it's
different than
untouchable.
most-
I think it's
than most
super
people.
touchable.
So let's go back to, actually, hold on. We got 10 seconds, so we won't hold on. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're actually going to take a break. We're gonna come off of the stage, and then we're gonna actually go up to the analysts and get their take on this first 30 minutes, all right?
Sounds
so take it away,
good.
Sam. Good job.
All right, we are here back at the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver analyst desk. Boys, girls, everyone, let's start with you. What do you think, Kyla?
Well, I think Anna said it all. I think whatever opinion you have on the topic, that was an absolute bloodbath. Huge respect to Pearl for coming out, but if you're going to hold this position, you should be able to support it. And if you think that Pearl won that debate, you're probably retarded. Like, I don't know, that was a bloodbath. That was rough.
Well, when you kind of get into it and you watch it, this is Anna's world, and we've seen her on Piers Morgan and stuff like that. And, so Pearl stepping up into this, God bless her, thank her for doing it. I do think Pearl had some wonderful moments there. I think she's been running a lot of defense, got in some nice shots, and she got bigger reactions from the crowd, I thought, than the other way around. What'd you think, Gavin?
Well, I guess I'm retarded because I thought Pearl did great. I think that.
You think she won?
Well, you know what I noticed going on over there? Anna doesn't have kids. Pearl has a kid. And Anna was doing this like masculine thing where she was being really,
aggressive,
vociferous and attacking Pearl. And Pearl had this sort of like calm.
Why are we infantilizing Pearl? She's got 2 million subscribers on YouTube. She's an
when
adult
a woman
woman.
has a kid,
we are absolutely infantilizing Pearl.
What
We're
are you
being like,
talking
no,
about?
I'm saying
this-
women who
this
have
poor
given
little
birth,
girl who's
women who
what?
have given birth are better than women who haven't
does
given
Pearl have a
birth.
child?
Sorry,
Does
you're
Pearl have a
more
child?
of a valid
think Pearl has a
woman
child?
if you have a kid.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Wait,
a lot going on in here.
I had a miscarriage, so am I less valid or more valid as a woman? As a
Well,
result
what
of it?
happened to you was obviously horrific.
Sure, but am I more valid or less valid as a woman?
Well, you're kind of less valid.
Less
yeah,
valid?
yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah,
love
yeah.
you, okay?
That's
I
why.
still love you.
That's why you cried when you had a miscarriage because
didn't cry.
Of course, you cried. I
You
cried
didn't cry
when
at
you
all.
told me.
You just were Terminator and moved
You're
on.
like, yeah, but that's just another day on the job.
Another day.
I was like,
Just
oh,
fucking shitting
you know,
out miscarriages.
miscarriage
That's my
happens.
day.
You weren't
No.
sad.
It's obviously horrific when a
little,
woman
I mean, a
can't
little
have a baby.
very mixed
But
feelings.
when a woman like Pearl has this sort of like calmness around her, where she goes,
I don't know if I'd
"Oh, really?
call
We're
that
doing this?
calm.
Okay, all right.
What
That's
was
it."
calm about? She was
Anna
sitting there
is aping
stun-locked.
male characteristics. She's getting super aggressive and attacking like a weird little pit bull that's mimicking male behavior.
But it's also kind of ridiculous to say that we live in a culture where women don't get treated better than men. Let's be honest here. I have this theory. Men make the rules of business, women make the rules of society, okay? And that's why there's things that women can ask men anything they want in debating. In dating, right? How much money you make, what kind of car do you drive, how tall are you? There are things you are absolutely not allowed to ask women.
Sure.
What's your weight? How old are you? What's your body count? Which are all things guys want. So this notion that it's like even Steven is absolutely ridiculous.
I don't think
the
anyone
notion
would-
that the courts treat men and women equally is also ridiculous, dude.
I don't think-
How many times have we seen like a man and a woman commit a crime and the guy gets 30 years and the chick gets like 2 weeks in prison? It happens all
Dude, Lorena
the time.
Bobbitt
Yeah, but the
cut
issue is
off.
Anna and I wouldn't disagree with any of that, right? Like, I think Anna and myself would both agree that's wrong when that happens. Women get infantilized as a result of sexism all the time, which is what you guys are trying to do to Pearl right now. The reality is that if
No,
you watch
I'm
that,
putting her on a
that was
pedestal.
painful. Everyone knows that that was painful. And the reality is, it sucks for Pearl. You know, it's tough coming out here and
No.
trying to be a
Well,
debater.
she's taking on, let's face it, one of the Michael Jordans of debating. This
Sure.
is Anna's world.
I totally
then
disagree.
don't take the debate and don't profit off of this worldview if
Anna's
you can't
known
even
for
begin
debating.
to defend
Anna
it.
Great.
was a rabid pit bull mimicking male behavior. Pearl was this serene mother
No,
who
she
was
was
like,
not.
"Oh, is this what we're doing?" It
was like a small
Okay,
girl.
I'm telling you the facts. I guess
You're
we
not
can
telling
go
me the
through
facts
this.
because you and I both
No, that was
know,
me being Pearl.
You and I both know that was painful,
and the notion-
uncomfortably painful.
and
Okay.
the notion-
Moderator had
You
to
gotta
step
have
in.
a baby. You
Tell
gotta
us
have a
what's
baby
doing.
soon. You
the
better have a
notion
baby.
that women are committing unaliving themselves anywhere close to the number that
Say
men
what
are,
you want,
and the
but
reason
Gavin
that maybe
is
Anna was like the
on
reason
point
they didn't do
here.
it because they're not as violent about. Not true at all.
Wait, but-
not true. Men off themselves at a much higher rate.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but the notion of give me statistics like Pearl is like ChatGPT is hilarious to me.
Here's what I would say to Pearl. If you're going to have somebody else write your notes, tell them where they cited things from so you can at least not look like a dumbass when you're asked where it's from.
I
Wow,
don't
now
think she
you're
looked at
getting
dumbass
aggressive.
at all.
She looked like
Now
a dumbass
you,
the whole
now
time.
you sound like a
You're
dude.
so
I don't know.
aggressive right now.
Stop
you guys,
it.
Well,
You're
as
not
the
a
feminist,
dude. Stop being a dude.
infantilizing women. Stop it.
Stop saying
doing it.
infantilizing. No one's
You are. You're
infantilizing.
saying poor
I'm putting
Pearl.
Pearl on a pedestal.
No,
Poor Pearl.
not one
And
time.
I'm-
It's not her fault she didn't know where her stats were from.
No, we're not talking about that.
Who,
No.
who knows what college survey this came
Probably
from?
if it's
not
your notes,
realistic.
you should.
You
Probably if
should.
you put it in your notes, yeah, you should probably know where you're citing your stats from. Yeah.
You should know all. What you're
Not all
basically-
stats, the ones in
This
your
is
notes.
classic Marxism, by the way. Classic Marxism, which is don't believe your eyes, your ears, or the wisdom of your experiences. So Anna's painting a picture that it's like, woe is me. Like how many more women's homeless shelters are than there are men. There's
more-
like no, it's not even close.
Yeah,
Come
women
on.
get more funding in general because women are viewed as the
100%.
compassionate group. Yeah, but I don't even think Anna would disagree with this. So, like, if you want to engage with what Anna and I believe, engage with what we believe.
What have we gotten wrong in what you believe?
Okay, so for example, Anna didn't even begin to try to pretend that the suicide rates between men and women are equal.
She
said
100%
nope.
said that.
What she specifically said is that men do die by suicide more often. But part of the reason why is because women use less lethal methods, which is true.
That is such a crazy
Less legal
statement.
methods?
Yes.
That is such a crazy
What does that mean?
statement that you're saying the reason they didn't do it was how they did it. You don't know that at all. You're just going
There's
off
data
a feeling
this.
on that.
Nope, there's just data on this.
There's
Just look it
data.
up. Yep.
Okay, give me the where's the statistic from?
I don't have it off the top of my
Okay,
head.
The males-
Wait, I didn't have to prepare
You
for a
should
debate. I
cite
prepared for an
statistics
analyst.
if you don't know where they're from.
Probably the Medical Bureau of U.S. has these
You're just
statistics.
making stuff
The
up.
I'm
male
not making stuff
suicide
up.
rate
You're
is at least
literally
twice
telling
the
me.
female
Where's the
suicide
statistic
rate.
from
You're
saying
not-
that
Because
they're
we have to
that
deal
they're
with
not
you.
the same?
What are you talking
Where's your
about?
stats from?
What do you, life? How many of
That's
my
not-
male
that's
friends
not
have
where
killed
stats are
themselves
from.
compared to my female friends?
Yes,
It's
I'm
not
going to
even
kill
close.
myself. I'm
Everyone agrees
considering
that men
suicide
die.
right now.
Dude, Gavin's thinking about offing himself right now.
I might eat a shotgun
Every single
right now.
person here agrees that men die by suicide more often. This is, of course, true. Anna and I both agree with this.
Right. But you're saying the only reason it's lopsided is method?
That's one of the dominant reasons why it's
The
lopsided.
dominant reason.
Women
Stop.
attempt, I think, 8 times
Oh
more.
my God.
You need to make a baby. You're going to change totally. Next time we do this, you're going
I've tried.
You
I
will have
missed
had
it.
a child,
I think Anna's
and you will
doing
be serene.
Is dominating.
Pearl tonight was serene.
She was not serene, she was
calm.
stun-locked and terrified.
She was at peace with the world.
Then why
Anna
did the
was like a
moderator
little
have to bail her out of her
chihuahua.
own debate?
But it's like if
We're
you're
all
gonna
dying
name the
here.
statistic,
We fired
statistic,
him.
and you got to give every single.
It's in your notes, yeah.
You know, dude, are you crazy?
If you
That
cite a
doesn't-
stat in your PDF that you prepped for weeks, by the way, they had 7 pages of PDFs. If you have it pre-prepped, you should probably know where you're citing from. I don't have to know where the citations are off the top of my dome because I wasn't prepping for a debate. I was prepping to be an analyst. But even you and I can agree that yes, men die by suicide more. But part of the reason, not the only reason, but part of the reason,
But not
is
the
because of
majority
lethality.
reason, right?
I would say probably the
majority
majority
of the reason
reason
is
that
this
men end up
argument.
choosing lethality more often is because there are less off-ramps for men, because by and large the world doesn't have compassion for men. Nobody gives a fuck about men and how they feel, which is why when they die by suicide, nobody cares. This is my position.
There we go. Great.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
we're done.
That's not Anna's position.
I imagine she would probably agree with me if she saw the stats.
You think based on what we saw tonight, she felt men get more men deserve more compassion. Is that what you got from that?
Well, no, I said she would probably agree with me.
But wouldn't that be saying that you think that men
I'm not saying she made
deserve
that
more
argument.
compassion? By agreeing with you, that's what she's saying, right?
But you're asking me, do you think that her argument tonight was this? And I'm saying, I don't think that she made that specific argument, but I imagine now that I'm positing it, if she can hear me, she's probably nodding and being like, yeah, I think we
Great
should have more
example
compassion
of
for
how
men.
the whole discussion on divorce is
No,
complete
I'm heading up
BS.
to-
Okay, is
I'm
that
heading
if you
up
look
to
at
Boston.
Kentucky, Kentucky
Shipping out to Boston.
made divorce 50-50,
gonna meet with the
automatically
guys.
50-50, and you know what happened there? You know what
I gotta
happened?
fly
Divorce
back
went
to
down
Miami 'cause I gotta
30%.
Wait, what do you mean
Thursday.
50-50?
Sam's funny.
They made it so the father and the mother automatically get 50-50. It's not good that we're going to decide in court. It's automatically 50-50
I might be
in
able to
Kentucky.
go. My
The
birthday's
divorce
on
went down significantly because women realize that they're not going to be able to game the system right now. And listen, I'm not saying
Where's your source
moms
for
don't
that?
get treated bad or single mothers don't have it hard. I have kids. Being a single mother is so hard. I totally respect that. This is not an anti-women rant at all. But this notion that men don't, for the history of divorce, have gotten a short end of the stick is absolutely ridiculous. A mother has to basically have to be like crazy enough to say she wants to assassinate the president to lose custody of her children. They have to be that crazy. A guy has to walk a perfect rope just to get 50-50.
So I believe 60% of marriages end in like the 50-50. Here's what I would actually challenge to you. I think one of the problems with the modern day court is that 50-50 means that men get kids like every other weekend. And I don't actually think that that's 50-50. I think that's insufficient. But part of why the court presumes this is because women are assumed to be back home in the kitchen, which means if you ask mom versus dad, what's your kid's teacher's name? Most of the dads don't know because they're busy working all the time because we've told men that their value to society is fundamentally the income that they bring in.
Because that is the
Correct. Correct.
Again,
Knowing your
That's
teacher's
bad.
name
Correct.
is gay.
I think a man's value is
That's
how
for
he can be a
losers.
dad.
Okay.
That's a woman's job.
you're acting like that's a bad thing. Because now we're getting
Tying
into
men's value to their
Mrs.
GDP
Hamilton?
output?
Who the
Yes.
fuck is
You
she?
think
I
it's
don't-
bad that traditional values are men are providers, women
So
are
I'm
nurturers.
confused.
You think that's bad?
I think it's
I'm confused
exactly
because
what
they
has
wanna
created
say
the
that women
situation where
are-
men have to
Come
fight incredibly hard to get
They
custody
wanna
of their
say
children.
that women
Is this
are
presumption?
a
Yeah. Why do you
huge
think
part of
men
the
are killing
workforce
themselves at high
nowadays.
rates? Why does
But
nobody
then
have any
they want
compassion for them?
women to be
Because
in
the
the
moment
kitchen.
you
They
go
want
from a
men
boy
to
to a man,
pay
nobody cares
child
about your
support
feelings.
money.
You better
They
get
want
out there
to-
and
You know
work.
why?
And if you're not
You
working,
You know
you're
why?
garbage. I think
we
that's
don't
bad.
want you to
Preach
care.
that
We
women
don't
are
want
equal.
compassion.
Yes, you do.
We don't like empathy. We don't like compliments.
That's not true.
We don't like any of that shit.
Tell that
we
to the
just,
suicidal men.
We just work
Correct.
all day,
Suicidal
and then you
men.
take our
Correct.
kids away,
Correct.
and we snap.
Correct.
I think that the majority of men check out because there seems to be no way out of the situation.
That's horrible. That's because we don't. That's to my point. That's wrong. Men are more valuable than just the
You know
money
what?
that they
Just
make.
stop.
Men are valuable because of principles, because they fight
Stop
for things
buying
that they
cars.
believe in.
You
because
guys
they are
ruined
fathers
cars.
who care about
All
their children.
cars look like cough drops because of you.
Cars?
Cars.
Cars.
I would
Women
take
buy
that- I
all
would
the
take that
cars.
with,
They look like cough drops. Whether it's a Lexus, a fucking Jaguar, they all look like cough drops
Didn't they
because you
only
guys
introduce
don't
women
like
body
right
shapes
angles. The cars used to be beautiful. Remember the 50s? You watch Men in
I don't
Black.
think this is feminism.
You're like
I think
Ford
it's a safety
Galaxies.
standard.
All these cars are beautiful, and then you guys took over all the buying power for everything, and now
I'm
cars
gonna-
are the ugliest,
I have
most
a strong
boring,
bet that the number one consumer
round
of cars
piece
is
of
men.
garbage.
Crazy.
Do you guys think the number
Just
one
stop.
consumer of vehicle purchases
Just
is
stop.
men or women? It's probably men.
Well, who
It's
do you
women.
think tells the
It's
guy
probably
what
men.
to buy?
Well,
Who
you
do
can
think
say
tells the
probably
guy
if that
what
makes
to
you
buy?
feel good,
Women
but
make
it's women.
70% of the purchase. It's just a fact.
Women buy everything.
Yeah, women tend to be the ones that are going to the grocery store and making purchases for the entire
And
family.
Yeah,
telling
That's
them
and
true.
you
what car
wrecked
to buy.
cars.
That's true.
I
That's
hope
also
you're
why
happy.
generally
You wrecked
custody
cars.
I hope
falls
you're
on the
happy.
women
You
because
ruined
she knows-
cars.
I have nothing to do
You
with cars.
ruined cars.
I think safety standards.
I think my friend Brianna would agree with
Exactly.
that.
Yep. That's
yeah.
another. That's a
But
synonym.
did you know actually that the woman
She bought a
bought
car.
those
7 days later,
safety
she fucking
standards
hit the
until
curb.
like last year? So if this is anyone's problem, it's men's problem.
last year?
Yeah, last year they built a stunt body double for
Every
cars for
single
testing
car
for
looks
safety.
the same because you guys are scared about
I think
climate
this is men's.
change.
Who owns the automotive industry? Men.
They're selling
Who
to
buys
women.
the cars? Men.
No,
Yep.
women. Women
Which
buy all the
test dummy body type are they
you're
using?
just making up shit that makes you feel good. It's not facts. Women buy all the
You are
cars.
not listing any facts, and you're also saying,
Women
think that
"Wow,
you're-
I feel bad for men, but also we should do men to the exact same plight that we've
because
been
you're
doing them
just,
to before."
Stop.
what you're
What is
saying
this?
right now is not reality. It's just your feelings. The notion that women don't have a huge say in what car is getting bought is absolutely
I
crazy.
didn't say that. I said that. Who's
you
the number one
totally
purchaser?
you
Women
said-
buy all the
so I
cars.
put down the money. I put down the money. But guess what? If a father came or a husband came home with a car that the wife didn't like, his life is miserable. They have every say.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, 100%.
So what's like the whole trope of like men buying motorcycles and shit? Is that because the woman actually wants them to buy a motorcycle secretly?
It's because we're in a midlife crisis and we feel like nobody
So
loves
who's-
us.
Yeah. Well, why is that?
See,
Because
I
nobody
start
cares
this
about
thing.
men because you want to attach
'Cause
their
nobody
value to
loves
you.
us.
Yeah,
Can you
you're
just-
right. And what I want is a world where we look at men and we say you're valuable not because of the money that you make, but because of the things that you
Yeah, but
contribute.
listen, you're not in
Philosophically.
reality,
Can
though.
you just apologize for wrecking the world?
You're not in reality.
You ruined
because
cars.
watch these
You
dating-
invented divorce.
these man
You elected.
Hold on. You watch these
Pierre Trudeau.
man on the street videos. The first thing chicks say, "Gotta make 6 figures. Gotta make 7 figures." They're
I
never
do
like,
those
"I like a guy
interviews.
with a good sense of humor."
I do those interviews. You want to know
All
what?
right, all
They're
right.
cherry picked.
Great debate. Great
Yeah,
debate. Let's
yeah.
send it back to Ben.
That's the way it should always come back. A little pyro. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back. We have about 15 more minutes of open debate, and then we're going to get into the final statements. So we'll pick up our open debate. Pearl, I'll let you begin.
What's your plan when men stop doing the dirty and dangerous jobs that keep society running?
If you could hold your mic.
Sorry, I'll say it again.
Can you give me an example of which jobs you're referring to?
Logging, plumbing, crab fishing, oil rig.
Yeah, those are dominated by men. They have the physical capacity to do it. Men and women
What's-
are built differently.
What's your
So you're
plan
right.
when they stop?
I mean, we're going to have a problem. Are you suggesting that women should be forced to work on oil rigs and things like
What
that?
is your plan?
Those are all sound.
That's a
What do
ridiculous
men
question.
get out of doing those
I don't
jobs?
have a plan, Pearl, for a
Feminists
situation in
never
which
do.
men no longer do those jobs.
They never
Maybe you
do.
do it. I don't know.
What's your plan when men start walking away from marriage?
So, do men or women get a raw deal from marriage? Because you just
What
said
is
men
your
walking
plan?
away
What
from
is
marriage.
your
So,
plan?
is he culpable for doing that?
What is your plan when men walk away from marriage?
Is he responsible for walking away from a
changing the
marriage?
topic. What is
or
your
is he
plan?
just never guilty of
My
anything?
point is you shit on men.
I don't shit on
And
men.
yet,
I love men.
Yet the very microphone you're using was built by men. The building was built by men. And there's no gratitude or appreciation. You just tell them they're not doing enough.
Got me. You got me. Yep.
So what's your plan when men start walking away from society?
What do you mean by walking away from society?
When men stop doing the dangerous jobs, when men stop getting married, when men stop having kids.
To be quite
What
honest
is
with
your
you,
plan?
if American men decide they no longer want to do those jobs, very likely our government will import men from countries where they're willing to do those jobs. That's probably how
And
it's
what's
going to
your
work
plan
out.
when they date
That's our
American
plan,
women?
to
and they
import
decide to
fucking
sell it to
men
you?
from other countries. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to
worried
continue to
about
import dudes. We're test
Of
tubes.
course you're not.
No. I never had
The
any problems.
future is not
Of
going
course
to
she
be
wants
great
to
for
import men
feminists. You
from
guys are
other
going to get the
countries. Look who
equality
she's
that you're
with.
asking for. Men are not going to
Wait,
protect
wait,
women. In
we're
the
talking about
streets.
Anna.
Men are going to stop signing up for the infrastructure jobs. The birth rate's going to keep falling.
I am going to go out
It's gonna
there.
be bleak.
I already told Ben. I said, hey, I said, I'm asking questions. He goes,
Listen,
when we come back,
I
I'm
think
going to
men
go up
and
there
women
and I am
serve
going to
important
fucking
roles
shred
in
him.
society.
Dude, I'm going to rip.
I think that you have a
I have
shallow
every single stat and
understanding
every single
You know what?
fucking.
Let me
of
think of a
what
question and then I'm going to go up
I
there and
believe,
ask you.
number one. But more importantly, what the
Are they
dynamic
picking-
is between
Motherfucker.
men and women in modern
that's all.
society.
Yeah, steal my motherfucking thunder for
Weird
once.
impression
I know more
that
about this
the
topic than
anecdotal
any of you
evidence that
motherfucking
you
niggas.
say
No, I
is
just
indicative
simplify
of
it,
the
though.
outcome of all marriages.
Oh, no,
In
no.
reality,
I'm gonna fucking
study
shred
after
them.
study
Women bad, men
shows
good. I got
that
it.
married
That's like-
Half of
couples
marriage is
tend to
ended.
be
Neanderthal thing. Go
happier
on camera,
than
Billy.
single individuals.
Right, they're happy before they
Women good.
Divorce is terrible.
No
Divorce
matter.
means
The
that the
other thing
marriage
is-
didn't work
yeah,
out. Obviously, they're not
you're
going to be happy in the
attributing
middle of
it-
it.
What?
Your
You're
mic's
supposed to
on.
fucking feminist shit?
People marry happy people and date happy people in general. You're attributing it to marriage, but
So,
you're
what, hey, listen, the listeners out there, what question should we go up there and ask?
I already have my question.
You got your question? Okay, give me a
Enrique,
question.
Enrique needs a question.
Give me a question to ask. Give me an
You
idea.
know, what's really
Dumb
interesting
spit.
is if you
An
look at
idea. Give me an
marriage
idea.
rates, which have dropped in the United States, not just in the United States, actually globally, you'll notice
What's the
that the
yellow one?
people who are less likely to get married happen to be those who are from a lower socioeconomic status.
right. Marriage is disappearing from the middle
I'm
class.
echoing.
That's true.
Why am I
From
echoing?
poor
Is it-
individuals, yes.
How about now? Am I
Do,
echoing now?
do you wonder why?
Why are you fucking with?
Because women marry rich.
Sus, let me know if I'm echoing now.
People forego marriage
You know,
due
if
to
you
their
had
own
to
personal
bleep out-
financial situation.
If you had to
So
bleep out
women
every time
marry
Rob
for
cussed,
money
it
a lot.
literally sound like
Okay.
That's the whole podcast.
So I'm going back to this.
that would be the
Let me
entire
ask you
podcast.
something, Pearl.
Men.
Would you be willing to
88
marry a guy
men.
who's poor?
Men.
Because I married a guy who was in debt and
Men.
Thank you, Sus.
loved the hell out of
Sus,
him.
that's how you say it?
Best
All right.
thing in my life.
Sus.
Would
Like
you
that's-
marry
very-
a guy who is
that's-
broke,
that's very
no
nice,
career,
Anna.
and in debt?
That's
Would
very, That's very
Yeah,
nice.
no, I get. I
Anna.
don't.
Would
it
you?
doesn't
So
matter
I'm
where
going
she's
back
from.
to
Answer the
the
question.
topic.
Would you marry
So,
a broke guy
all
in
right,
debt?
All right, so we're going back to
Would
the
you?
topic.
Is she proud
Would
of that?
you?
All right, this is the nagging.
'Cause
This is the
this is
nagging
like
again.
the
Okay,
20
so
times
This is
she's
the
I'm
nagging.
asking
See,
you to
this-
answer
this
the
is where
question
it's at.
because
All
you
right,
are
all right.
judging
This is
women,
where she's at.
making a
This is
blanket
the
statement
nagging.
of
This is
who
the
they
nagging.
would
You
be
know,
willing to
she-
marry,
you
who they
stop.
wouldn't be
Fucking
willing to
stop.
marry.
Now she doesn't
But you're
have
not
any
answering
more
the
cards
question
God help
yourself.
us.
Would
Just
you
keeps
be
on
willing
breaking
to marry
everything.
a broke guy in debt?
Does your husband have to listen
wouldn't,
to this?
would you?
Does he have to listen
doesn't
to
have
Oh,
any
he
more
There we
loves
go.
it.
There we go. There we go. She's
All
doing.
right,
get
She's
it
doing
over
the
so can I
pro.
go back
Do
to
you
the
not want to answer
question?
that? Why do you not want to answer that?
Finally
Yeah,
woke
why
up?
not?
Just say no. I don't want to broke.
Love is love. Now back to the question.
She's
Men,
now she's
88%
insulting.
of the
Which
food.
is where
The power
she
grid,
does- where she has the
93%
power.
men. Transportation, 95% men.
Men are an important society.
Communications, 90% men. Material production,
Rob.
78% men. Software,
Let's not go
80%
Rob.
men.
I
Auto
bet-
workers,
Is it? Do you, all right, Seuss,
98%
do you think
men.
his question's going to be
Carpenters,
intelligent?
98% men. Electricians, 98% men. If you remove the
rooting for Rob
top
to go up there and
male-dominated
ask a
jobs from the
question.
economy, you would have no running cars, no housing, no electricity, no open machinery, no materials or fabrics, and no computers. There would be no buildings and no Amazon delivery.
I've never
What
once said
is
that
your
men
plan?
are not a
What-
very important
Feminists,
part of American
you want-
society.
You want men enslaved to women for nothing in return.
No, you're just making
That's
things
what you
up.
want. That's what you want. You want men on the hook for
Okay,
child
Pearl,
support.
what have I
You
said
want men
that
on the
gives
hook
you
for
that
housing.
impression? What have I said that gives you that impression?
You want men on the hook for child support. You want men on the hook for alimony.
You want men to not take responsibility for their own children.
You've been on the air for 20 years, and you have not advocated for men that are victims of paternity fraud. You want men to do all of the work, get no credit
I can't stay
for nothing.
focused
I
on
do
And men aren't
political
going to do
news.
it anymore. They're going to
angle
walk away,
Anna's
Anna.
trying to get at.
They're not
Because
gonna do it
seems like
anymore.
more than once now she has
And
turned back
feminists,
on
as you said,
everything that
have
she
no
started saying
plan
from
for
the
when that
beginning.
happens.
So all Anna has
What do you
on
want
her
their plan to
side
be? You
is
think
that
it's
she
a
just throws
feminist
these
responsibility
outrageous
plan
numbers
for this
and
made-up
facts,
society
right? Some
where
of them are
all
facts.
men decide
You know
they
what's
no
funny?
longer
That
want
not
to
only
work?
does she not stand behind
she
it,
actually
they're inaccurate.
advocated for left-wing policies.
And that's like
for
the
last
only
20
power
years.
that she has.
And then
is
she got
that she
assaulted
tries
by
to
a homeless
get
person.
Pearl
What does that have to do
to
with the topic?
Because it
respond
was
to those
the
numbers
result of what you
when there's
voted
no,
for, Anna.
There's no real-time
Yeah.
fact checking.
Yeah.
So you have all those
first
numbers
of all,
in front of you.
And
If
so,
I tell you 10
and
million
want to know
people
why?
died right
Because
now-
You think
Anna,
I voted?
Because,
Hold on.
because,
You think
because,
I voted
because,
for homeless
I don't know.
people to
Because-
go around
all right, so-
sexually assaulting
Anna-
You
people?
can't like check
Because
it
Anna
live.
By the way,
was-
I got
So-
sexually assaulted
No,
by
no,
a
do you know-
guy.
all
Was
right,
that
all right.
was
So,
that
do you know what
his
the other crazy
responsibility?
thing
Was that
is?
something that he did, or was that my fault too?
All right, so the other crazy thing is that Anna complains that women's opinions aren't taken seriously, while a whole event was catered around her opinion. The other thing that's crazy
What are you talking about?
is Anna complains about women being oppressed, and yet she had less experience than her co-host at the Young Turks.
Hold on,
And-
hold on. What were my complaints about women being oppressed? Can you be specific?
All right.
What did I say? Go ahead and quote me. Go ahead and quote me, because you make shit up.
Yeah.
And you just
There you
think
go.
like
Get her
it's
out of
going to
the fucking
stand.
nagging,
You've never
make
had
it
a
end.
strong
This is what-
woman
make it end,
challenge
nagging,
your
make it
bullshit
end.
assertions. So go ahead and
Make
tell
it
me,
end.
what have I complained about?
Okay.
Give me the
nagging.
quote.
The nagging. You said women's opinions are not taken seriously.
When did I say that?
In a YouTube video.
There's 2 women on this stage
Okay,
right now
all
for the
Are we-
headline event.
Oh my God, are we gonna end?
When have I said women's opinions
All right,
don't
all
get
right.
taken seriously?
That might be a
It's kind of
mistake
like
by
a
the word war
roundabout.
debate.
This is like eternal.
A little
nagging.
bit, little bit of.
What is your plan for when the
there she
80%
goes.
of women who work in the healthcare industry no longer want to
Okay,
do it?
see,
What's your
I have a
plan?
plan doing
Yeah,
this.
what's your plan?
Let's give the
Make
jobs
it
to the
known
men,
that
they'll do
women
it
are
better.
a huge part of the workforce industry.
Because we see what's happening in the
But then
media.
she
You know,
also
women
wants
fly
to say that
planes, they
women
crash
should be
them.
stay-at-home
All-
moms and that men should pay child
Women
alimony.
almost burned down
so where is
California.
she getting at with it?
I-
What path
You know,
is she
people
backing
are
up?
dying because they
she's
want to
on
make
2
women
paths.
feel better.
I think right now Anna is
People
on the
literally-
defense.
I-
She
what
just
What
took
I'm
her out of
curious
her
about
element
is
right
whether
now.
or not the Pick Me Act ever resorted into anything positive for you.
Do you hear? Okay, go ahead.
Are you
Talk.
done?
Me?
I'm
Yeah.
not.
All right. So I'm not
Talk a little
either.
bit more,
Okay,
louder.
keep going.
Now,
1, 2, 3.
and the other thing is,
You don't hear her?
women fly planes, they crash them. Women are in CEOs.
What
they
are the
quit.
stats on
most
that?
Female,
What are the
most
stats
female
on that?
It's like feminists. They want stats that say water is wet. The
Yeah,
sky
I
is
want
blue.
empirical evidence
Right,
to
because
back up your arguments.
because you know you want to be in
Really
control
soft.
of telling
Let's bring
people what to
your
think and
levels
how to
back
feel.
up.
No, I want to
Let me bring
be
lines
in
down. Go
reality.
ahead.
1, 2,
I want to
3.
live in a fact-based reality.
Enrique
that
is
requires empirical
Okay, let's
evidence.
turn that down to mute.
Not your assertions.
300. We all saw that plane crash on the East Coast. No one's making that up, Anna.
You do better when you're reading off your paper, so I'll give you some time to do that.
I really don't like this girl.
All right,
I really don't.
That was a good little jab.
In the future, because I'm sure you'll find yourself in more
All right,
of these
what
debates.
she started doing
I
from
actually
the
think
beginning
that you
was
could be an
just
incredible
insult after
debater.
insult.
But you
And
need to
this is
look
something
at
that the left does
the
all
broader
the time.
picture,
Oh
not
my
just
God,
rely on
nagging.
anecdotes,
Left
and
Valley is
don't make
always
things
insult.
up out of
Nagging.
full cloth.
Okay. Feminism empowered women. I'll take the tip, thank you. Feminism empowered women to sign up for previously male-dominated careers that they quit. 48 to 73% of female lawyers, depending on the type of firm, quit either as junior associates or at mid-career. 1/4 of them cite workload, burnout, mental health. 73% of women who got engineering degrees in the past 15
Women
years
bad.
either have never entered the field professionally or quit early mid-career. 55% of all female accountants quit before or at their mid-level career.
Thank you,
The
America, for letting
attrition
us
rate
know.
for women in STEM is approximately 50%. These companies often bend over backwards to get women hired to the point of discrimination against male qualified candidates.
that
Then
camera
women
back
quit
in.
because
Let
they
me
don't want to
test
work
this.
the
I'm gonna
long
bring this
hours or
camera
deal
back
with the
in, but I'm
levels
gonna
of
mute
stress
it.
for an extended period of time, with women
And
being
let me know if
2.5
you still
more
hear a
likely to
chop
take
if you hear me
antidepressants
doubled
than
up
men.
on this
The
when I
money
do
and
this.
prestige isn't worth it to them. They prefer
And
lower
let me tell you
pay,
something,
lower
I'm
workload, and
testing
higher
this
job
because
security.
this is Rob's
Feminism
setup.
has
As
empowered
most of you
women to
know
go
that
to
watch this
college
show,
and take out loans they can't afford for
my
career paths that will not generate
audio
them
settings
income
are
to pay off
usually
those
100%
loans.
on
have
mute.
higher debt
college
than
women-
This is all Rob's setup,
Right,
so I
because
apologize.
they
in
do.
advance.
Because women put their biggest expenses on their husband's credit card.
Ooh.
According to Experian, and they look and
Women
account
are
for those
85%.
factors
Women
that
are
you just
85%
mentioned.
of women are
Hold on.
85% of consumer spending. We lead when it
Thank
comes
you, guys.
to
I
luxury
appreciate it.
brands.
Men have more mortgage debt, car loan debt,
It's not a metal
personal
setup.
credit card debt,
Right,
a
because
junk
they're
setup.
expected,
Loan
they're
Garbage
expected
truck.
to provide. Women make 80% of
He
consumer
like starts
buying
just
decisions.
plugging wires
Again,
in and
if
hopes
feminists
that it
really
works.
cared about equality, they would provide for the men.
Pretty much.
they would what
Where's
for the men?
where's king
Sorry, I
treatment,
missed that.
fellas?
Sorry,
Say
can you-
If
something
feminists
one
cared about
more
equality, They
time.
would provide for the men. But
One,
yet,
two,
that
three.
is a
Enrique
small
is
minority
gay.
of women.
All right, we're muting your
Wait.
mic for good.
So let me get this straight. Honestly, your whole shtick is women should bend over backwards and
Yes.
do everything they
I'm-
can for men.
I'm all for women
My
bending
argument-
over backwards.
I'm an
My
egalitarianist.
All for it.
Hold
Women-
on, my argument is
Women
that
as in many?
men
Woman,
and women
woman,
are both
woman.
tremendously important to a functioning
Twice
society.
a day. Somebody
They
even
should
says
both
twice
be
a day.
treated
Congratulations.
with respect.
Thank you.
He
They
clearly
both
doesn't know
serve
what the
different
word
jobs,
doghouse
different
means
roles,
yet.
and in order for society to work,
No.
we have to respect that.
Women are
but
not-
you
Women in the
seem
doghouse,
to
guys.
put the onus and responsibility of everything onto women while providing cover for the bad behavior of men.
Women are not equally important because they don't.
Hey, you
do
guys still
equal-
haven't
Men
told
are
me what you
equally
want me to
important.
ask her.
I
I
never
could get.
said
I
that
think
they
I can get
weren't.
up
Women
on
are
that
not
stage
equally
and ask.
important because
I
they
feel
don't
like
do the
I
equal
could
amount
go
of
at it
work.
with her.
Men have invented the majority of the inventions. Men have
Really?
started
Yeah.
Fortune 500 companies. Men do the majority of the infrastructure
Pearl did
job.
have
Men produce
a very good point,
90%
though.
of
Who's scrubbing
Wait,
the
after-
toilets
80%
after
of the
work?
food supply, 90% of the world's stuff.
Omnidirectional.
Who's changing the diapers?
So you
Not
talk
women.
in it
Not
like
women.
this?
They're
the
not having
children
kids.
after
Women aren't
working
having kids.
all
so
day
women aren't
long.
doing
Pearl
it.
really did have a
Daycare
point, though.
workers now.
Yes.
When
to be
she said
honest, it's not moms.
that women have too
Not
much
everyone grew up in an
empowerment
affluent household like you.
I mean,
they
there's
need a
always a
dual
third
income
woman
household
involved
in order to
in
make
many
ends meet in
breakups.
this economy.
Anna,
See,
you
live
talk.
in reality for
Anna,
one day
you
in your
talk.
life.
Anna, you
Most
talk for a
relationships
living.
are
It's
not
kind
safe.
of rich for you to come at me.
What?
I would like
Bitch,
to
what do
remind
you
you, I
do
have
for
a
a
mean
living?
right hook.
I also talk, but I can acknowledge it's not that hard
Okay.
of a job.
Talk a lot of
where
bullshit.
you pretend it's more important than it is.
Right. Okay.
Well, since there were only about 30 seconds left,
All right.
we'll just call it there.
All right,
good
guys,
job,
listen.
ladies.
I want you to go ahead and type in the comments who you were rooting for and who you think won
Pearl.
this debate. We don't have closing
5-minute
statements in yet,
closing statements.
but I want to hear it from you
Not
guys.
attack each other.
I definitely think that Pearl had a
Call each other
better
names.
second half here.
Anna, you're first.
She was a little.
I'm just gonna go ahead.
She's
and
not
read
comfortable.
what I
She's not a
couldn't
debater,
in my
but I think
opening
she did
statement,
do
if you don't
better.
mind.
She was more Pearl now.
At the beginning, Anna was completely destroying
Taking
her, but I
advice from
think
someone like Pearl,
Pearl
will ensure
should
that
have
you will be
pointed her
lonely
out on
and
her two
incredibly
paths
sad.
which path are you
If you
standing
have
on,
this
Anna?
dark view of an entire
I feel like it would have brought her ego
sex,
down a
nearly
couple
50%
notches.
of the country, I can't imagine living day to day being a happy person.
We got 4
I
votes
don't know
for Pearl
what
currently.
Pearl actually
4
believes. Part of
votes
me
for
feels
Pearl.
like this is a shtick.
Anybody?
But I'm gonna
Is
take
anybody
what you
out
say
there
at face
saying
value and just think you genuinely believe it?
What?
And if you
Have
do
them go
genuinely
vote.
believe it, I actually feel
I don't have the
really
link for the
bad
voting.
for you.
If you
It's
guys
on-
go
it's
to
on-
the
If
you
word
think
war debate,
women in general
Debate.
fit
What's that
in this
working?
weird description
What
where
building?
they're looking to take advantage
Why
of
is that one
people,
closed?
where they're looking to rip people off,
Inside?
where they're looking to get married only to divorce and steal the man's money, you live in an alternate universe.
yeah, you want to go inside to listen.
Sometimes
just have
divorces are
eyes.
ugly.
But
Sometimes
which one are you trying to close?
there are bad women
Oh, the
who
voting's
make
closed.
things up,
Oh,
lie
okay.
about rape, and there
Okay.
should be consequences for that.
But there aren't.
The difference between you and me is that I think the bad behavior of women deserves consequences, just like the bad behavior of men deserves consequences. That's
But
what
one's
equality
legal,
is.
one's not.
What you're advocating for is a society in which men get away with everything and women get blamed for everything.
She wants equality. But
That's it.
she
I mean, what
wants
else am I gonna
men
say?
to pay for
That was
child
so close.
alimony, and she wants women
right.
to be stay-at-home
Fem-
moms.
You know,
I
I
can
saw
go?
Pearl walk in with
All
her
right.
boyfriend.
Feminists
right?
are mainly
I didn't see Anna
white,
walk in with anybody.
middle-class, female liberals
And
who have no
he
idea
was
how
really
the real
supportive
world
of her. I don't
works,
know if you noticed
and yet
that.
want to advise
Yeah,
you
no.
on how
She's
to
like,
live.
hey, you're gonna go.
Let me
Hey,
go
babe.
through
you know,
your
holding his
complaints.
He was
hands.
fixing her
Feminists
like,
want control
outfit.
over their
Yeah.
bodies.
You know, he was
You
being
win.
very
You have
supportive.
12 types of birth
Who'd
control,
Anna come
and you can
in
actually
with?
Uber Eats a Plan B. You have abortion on demand, and in the states that it's not, it's simply a weekend trip. You have aborted an eighth of the world population. You win. Feminists wanted to fight against rape culture. You win. If a woman is raped, assaulted, or if she revokes consent after the fact, she has the power to get a man fired from his job, kicked out of school, or thrown in jail. You won, feminists. Women want to be free of traditional gender roles? Fine. Men invented the dishwasher, the Roomba, the air fryer, fast food, and Uber Eats. There are meal prep services and cheap restaurants. You win. Women wanted to have a career first and get married later in life. Men allowed women to come into the workforce and have millions of dollars in funding, pushing women into male-dominated fields and scholarships, and invented IVF to give us another 5 years of fertility. The husbands pay for the IVF, and they are pushing to get it taxpayer funded. You win. Women wanted to be sexually liberated instead of getting married. Men invented Tinder and Hinge, so random men can literally come to your door. The men from your hometown are not good enough. Men invented social media, so you can get flown out by the highest status men in the world. Women did not want to work labor jobs? Fine. Men invented social media so you can talk into a microphone and get paid. You can now work from home so you can have a family and be a mom. You can make money selling your nudes on the internet and become a billionaire. Women did not want to give birth? Fine. Men invented surrogacy so another woman can do it for you. Women wanted to be thin without working out. Now you have Ozempic. You want to look younger? Fine. Men invented
Can you give me a mic
Botox,
to
hair
drop?
dye,
Can you unplug that mic for
filters
me?
on your phone, nose jobs, Anna knows,
Ooh, no, it's
plastic
hard.
surgery, lash extensions, makeup, and AI to make you look thinner.
You
win.
should look into it.
You can now
Testing,
wait
one,
till
two. How's my
40
audio, guys?
to have a baby, freeze your face, work in an air-conditioned office, earn a living sitting on your ass, getting fat, spending money you don't have, marry
Dude,
someone
Pearl
to
is
pay
on
it off,
fire right
divorce him, put him on alimony and child
See,
support.
this is
We
the
gotta
Pearl
go.
I've been
Abort
waiting
your
for.
kid,
You might have to
unprotected
give me a
sex
second
on
because I got to go out
camera,
here and give
get
Pearl a
paid
high
for it,
five.
Order any cooked food to your door.
You
get
know,
a
I really
self-driving
do.
car,
I
and then
think right now
complain
she's
to
like
men
fucking
that they cause you to
dropping
be
the mic.
lazy
She's
and fat.
drilling her
You
now.
are now empowered
Where
to
was
have
this
10
energy though at the
abortions,
beginning?
bang 300 men, take a DEI
I wish she
position that
would have
pays
knocked
300K
Anna
a year,
down
Uber Eats a Plan
so
B,
many notches
study
from the
underwater
beginning.
basket weaving,
I
and
cannot
get
stand
sympathy
Anna
when your
having
degree
this
pays
like
no money.
high-powered
Feminists are
vibe going on.
spoiled, liberal, progressive women that have
It was
no
too
idea
much.
how good they have it. You guys will never be happy until men are nothing but empty shells who are slaves to the system, fueled by feminists' selfishness, spending habits, and poor choices. Feminists don't care about equality because if they did, there would be equal rights for men. There would be equal men's shelters. There would be equal funding for men's cancer. There would be real equality. I checked 20 different feminist websites.
All right,
and
guys,
have not
I'm gonna
found
leave
one
this
that
playing.
mentioned a single
If it
issue
stops playing,
that
just
asked
give us
for
a little
men to
bit.
be
We'll
equal.
be right
It only
back.
asks for
Because
special
I'm gonna go
treatment.
up on the stage.
Feminism has empowered women to destroy
full
this
screen
country
this.
through the death of 1,000 cuts. Feminism is not about equality, it's about insidious domination. It has been a slow creep to where women are complaining about their non-existent oppression. Men have figured this out because they're highly adaptive and the math is not mathing. I am curious to know feminists' plan when men refuse to stop providing, protecting, and maintaining the civilization you enjoy corrupting. Feminists are about to fuck around and find out. Feminists have won. You destroyed every single male group that used to be strictly for men, like Boy Scouts. You can falsely accuse men of rape, harassment, and endless lawsuits. Feminists have more political power, voting power, and spending power than any other group. Everybody caters to you. Corporations cater to you because women are the primary purchasers. Politicians because they need the vote. Men have to pay child support to a rapist. Men are not believed when they're abused. Men have to die at work and at war. Men have to pay child support for 18 to 21 years. Men have to register in selective service. Men are not given additional consideration for college admissions, jobs, opportunities, and scholarships. Children are not DNA tested at birth, leading to paternity fraud, which is not prosecuted at all. And men will more than likely deal with this in their lifetime. Men are the majority of the homeless. Men are the majority of the suicides. Women can hit men, and men can't hit back. Feminism has empowered women to destroy men, and congratulations, 1.6 million men have committed suicide. What more do you want, Anna?
All right. That is the debates. Let's give it a big hand for these two debaters.
Thank you.
All right, so if you're here in the room, you go, and also if you're watching online, of course, the many tens of thousands of you who are right now, you go to wordwardebate.com, and that's where you're going to cast your vote. And let's get these guys to shake hands here. Yeah? Great job. Great job. All right, Sam. People are voting. Send it up to you guys.
Give it up for the ladies. They brought it. That was a fire debate. So what do we think? Dude, Pearl came back late rounds swinging. What are your thoughts, Kyla?
I think it's very interesting that she has to build a straw man because she can't deal with the real deal sitting in front of her.
What? Explain that.
I mean, her closing statement just like made a bunch of assumptions about Anna's position that she has already explicitly said that she doesn't hold.
Give me an example.
Most of it, how Anna just wants like men to not be benefited in any way, that like women just like want to see men like in like worse positions. Like Anna's been very open, like, yeah, I mean, if there is fraud, we should investigate that. We should try to like balance these things more. If men are not getting their due like process in court, we should try to fix these things.
And you
right?
said
have to
she
erect a straw man.
specifically said that too.
Yeah,
I think
what
she's
Pearl
talking
has to
about
do-
feminism in general.
Well, she's talking to, this is the interesting thing. Everyone wants to fight the feminist, and then when they have to actually deal with it, they need to make a straw man because they can't tear down the real one, as we saw, which is why it's such an utterly painful bloodbath.
I disagree. Gavin, McGinnis, thoughts?
You see two women debating, and it comes down to childlessness. Childless women have no value. And you know what it's like? It's like Clark Kent working at the Daily Planet, and he doesn't fly, and he's like, hey, Lois, and he's bumping into shit all the time. That's what childless feminists are. They're Clark Kent.
Pearl?
You don't use your flying power. So we this was all semantics. It was kind of irrelevant semantics at the end of the day. Because all women's value in society is breeding.
What was the semantic piece? What was semantic here?
Well, I'm saying having women debate at all is semantics.
These are your guys' headliners. Are you saying that word war regrets
I like
having
women
these
debating for the
headliners?
record.
Oh, interesting.
Now, because it's the elephant in the room. Like you're talking to two wizards on stage, and one of them is using his magic powers, and the other isn't.
Pearl didn't use her magic powers.
She did in the second
Pearl
half,
used
for
her magic
sure.
powers. She made a baby. Anna didn't. It's
Does Pearl
massive.
have a child?
It's a massive thing to overlook, and that's why I hate when people equate men and women as the same person. They're
Nobody's doing that.
wildly different. Women are magic, and if you're not using your magic powers, you're kind of less valid.
I think men are magical too. Okay, just in different ways.
No, men are not magic.
You guys can
A
beat me at
female spider is like this big. A male spider is this big.
That's true, but I am
And the
not a
female spider eats the male spider after they.
That is true of arachnids. Yes.
Yes, that's true
Make
for
love.
records. By the way, a lot of stars out here for the first Word War debate. And one of the biggest, Jiu-Jitsu Jesus, Eddie Bravo joined us here on panel. One of my favorite human beings on planet Earth. Eddie, thoughts, questions, feelings?
I mean, it's pretty obvious that men and women are equal. I mean, that's obvious.
No.
I mean, just look at the number of strip clubs for women compared to the number of strip clubs for men.
It's so
50%.
true.
It's 50% across the board. Some states it's more for women.
You think there's more male strip clubs than there are the female strip
Oh
clubs?
my God!
And when
oh
women
my
go to
God.
strip clubs, they're
oh
laughing
my
their
God.
heads off. It's not
There's
even
way more
sexual.
strip clubs for women than there are for men.
There's whipped
They're
cream.
everywhere.
They're all
they have
giggling.
minotaurs
It's
in
not
them?
sexual.
And women
Just
get
asking
laid
for
at
Sam.
strip clubs way more than men get laid at strip clubs, by the way. That's a statistic that you go to what the fuck is happening at mensstripclubs.com, and you'll find that statistic right there, okay? There you go, there if you need a link.
I was at a
Men
strip
are
club last
boomers,
night. I was at
confirmed.
Stilettos down the street.
Yeah.
And we were just staring at women's vaginas like, that is a masterpiece. The idea of women looking at scrotums and just being like, wow. Look at
I
that
think it's
bag.
disgusting, but you know, we're going 50-50 on this. You know, they gotta, if we're looking at the beaver, they gotta look at scrotum. You
Okay,
know?
so you're on the feminist side for sure.
It's obvious. Look at the amount of strip clubs per capita.
Yeah.
Women are constantly admiring our scrotums.
Women, dicks are ugly.
They're
Can we
doing,
agree
they're
on
doing
that?
watercolors
This
of our
is the type of
scrotums.
conversation, by the way, that only men can have with each other. Just
You can
obsessed
jump
with
in at
genitals.
any
You can
point.
jump in.
I, as a
Do
woman, I
you
have
dispute
nothing
my
to
claims?
contribute.
Yeah,
Are you
women aren't great
disputing
at
my
sarcasm.
claims?
They're not great at
Are you
sarcasm.
disputing my claims?
You know, I don't love either genitalia. They're both kind of weird.
Okay, respect
called
on
irony, my
that.
dear.
Respect on that. See, this notion that somehow it's like society is hard on women. They always bring up like CEOs, how many female CEOs versus male CEOs. The actual number of people in the population, the percentage that could actually run a $1 billion industry is maybe 1%. If we go to actual like what everybody can do, like waiting jobs, service jobs. If we go to social media, women have it way easier on social media. Ask any social media manager who has it easier. You can blow up a female account way easier than men. Women
Yeah.
are dominating on social media. It is the new way to go.
And
But
you know
she's gotta
another
use
way
her
they
sexuality to do it,
another
right?
way they dominate too is women they travel and they just go by themselves. They're like, you know what, I'm gonna buy a one-way ticket to Spain, and they know once they land, they're gonna have
Dude,
people
during
like helping them
COVID,
out.
the
Guys
only-
can't do that.
The
The guy
only
does
people
that.
allowed to travel openly during COVID was Instagram models on yachts. I was locked down in my
I
house.
don't know if I believe that at all.
No, 100%.
I don't believe that at all.
100. This is statistics.
Who owned the yachts?
Old rich men, war criminals.
Interesting. Okay. Men.
Not women.
You're right.
Yeah, because they
that's
don't
to
want to
my
pay the
point.
insurance. Hey, let's throw it down to Ben. Is Ben there? Ben is not there. Where's okay? Eddie, thank you for joining us. We love
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Please
Appreciate
welcome our moderator. And dude, everyone was loving how he was moderating on the show. Please welcome my good friend, the very good-looking Ben Swan. How are you?
Gorgeous. Breathtaking.
Crazy.
Breathtaking.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Full homo.
Melt in your
Wow.
mouth.
How was
gorgeous.
that debate, huh?
Debate was fire. I mean, a
Wow.
lot of people thought Pearl was taking big shots early, but she came back and she just started dropping bombs. 2 out of the 3 of us thought that.
I don't think that's even true. I think you guys are being very nice to Pearl, and that's nice of you guys.
We're feminist.
Yeah. This is the feminist moment for you
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
You're like,
So,
you know
okay.
what? That poor sad woman, we're gonna help
Ben,
her out.
you were
Do you want the truth?
yeah. Ben, you were on stage. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Ben?
I mean, come on.
You thought it was one-sided?
Listen, I'm actually a huge fan of both of these ladies. I think they're both incredible at what they do. I've been fans of both of them for a long time, but it was not it was not an even debate. It wasn't even close to an even debate. I think the problem was part of it's an experience thing, probably.
Yeah.
Look, Anna does this all the time. She does it.
She came
on
into
news
Anna's
networks.
world.
I mean, she's more experienced. Debate in this kind of a forum is a bit of an art form. And the more experienced you are, it's like watching two fighters. It doesn't mean that Pearl isn't good at what she does, and it doesn't mean she didn't have good information, but she wasn't ready for this particular fight.
Yeah.
And I think that showed up pretty quick.
Yeah, Anna went Dagestani on her. Just mauled her, put her on the ground, and dry humped her for the first half. But I felt in the second half, I felt Anna, I felt Pearl came and dropped some nice Muay Thai on her. And just, it made some nice.
I'll tell you this. I think that if Pearl had to do it over again, like if we said this debate is in a week, and now she's had even just this experience, she would approach it differently.
I agree.
And I think statistically she'd approach it differently. Again, listen, some of this is a disadvantage, I would say, of being the main card on the first show. So next time we do this, the debaters will be prepared in a different kind of way. They're going to show up with their stats. They're going to show up with their numbers. So it's a bit of a learning experience. What's the saying? Don't ever be the first bird out of the bush. That's the one that gets shot. Everybody else takes off afterwards, right? And I think when you're on the very first show, she wasn't quite ready for how she was hit. And so...
Look, as a feminist, I don't want to infantilize women. They're both grown adults. Pearl has 2 million on YouTube.
Who's infantilized? Nobody's going goo goo gaga.
I think you learned that word and you got excited about it. It's not a
What
thing.
university
No
taught
one
you that?
infantilizes
Ooh,
anyone.
little baby Pearl. She's
No,
just so
Pearl's
pretty.
not a little
You got
baby.
2
She's a
million.
6'3" tall
no one
woman.
said
That's
that.
true. She could probably clock me. She might
Yeah,
after
for
this
sure.
show. But
I'm gonna
the
have to walk
reality
you
is
out of
that
here.
If you've got 2 million on YouTube, if this is your entire bread and butter is shitting on women and bringing all these stats, you should do a better job. Maybe if your ideas are right,
shitting on
defend them
women.
well.
I don't think she's shitting on women. I think she's shitting on the dichotomy between men and women and how it's very one-sided.
Why do you think she wouldn't answer whether she'd date a broke man?
Because she's a chick and no chicks are smart ones
Anna said I
don't
dated
date
broke-
broke dudes.
Anna?
Even though
Anna-
broke dudes probably lay down better pipe statistically.
Anna was willing to say it.
What statistics? Cite your statistics. Cite the statistics.
True. What's your-
Pornhub.com. So, do you have anything you had to get into real quick, Ben, or do you want me to do a read real quick?
Oh, yeah. No, we can talk about this. Okay, so one of the most fascinating things about tonight, I think if we just opened this up where everybody down there could have come up on stage, they were ready to debate. I had to stop. There was a triangle debate going on, right? It was Anna versus Pearl, and then Anna versus the audience. Here's the thing. If you want to be a part of this, you can be. So if you're watching right now online, right? You're going to go to wordwardebate.com. And you're going to go to, let me just get it right here, enter the arena. And if you do that, you can fill out an online submission, and that would allow you to be able to submit to be able to get up and do one of these debates. And in fact, I would say, why don't some of you guys who are in this audience tonight, who have something to say, because you do, and some of you I know are mad that we're probably up here right now and said, we didn't get to do questions. Where were our questions? Go to enter the arena and let's see who we can get you debating against, because you have a lot to say. You guys can do this, and hopefully you've learned from this experience what it takes to be in that arena, because it's not for the faint of heart, right? If you want to do this, you got to have more than just a couple lines. You got to come armed to the teeth.
So what we're doing is we're basically creating a league for debaters, because a lot of debaters debate in high school. They graduate high school, maybe go to college. If they're lucky to get on a debate team, they got nowhere to go. So we've created a place to go. And it's kind of like Dana White's looking for a fight. We're looking for the new debater. We want you to come in on our debate. Rob Noir, who did a great job tonight, he's going to be moderating those debates. We're looking for the next great debater, and we're going to have you. If we find one by the time we have the next show, we'll have you here up on the main stage, putting on debate and let the world see how great you are. Ben, you were fantastic.
I appreciate it.
Kyla, you were fucking phenomenal. Everybody was phenomenal.
Wow.
You did great, Gavin. You brought the heat, clipped it up.
Now that you already hate me, I can't ruin it more.
I don't.
I want
you're
the
my
next.
favorite.
What about tit versus ass men?
Yeah, I mean, dude, we don't have to do serious debates ever. Tim Dillon wants to come on and argue like cake versus pie.
Are you a tit man or an ass man?
I'm an ass man.
Okay, so we'll be on the same side.
Me too.
That would be a good debate, though, don't you think?
One person I really want to thank again is Wise Wolf, Gold and Silver. Listen, guys, fiat money is going to be, they're just printing it crazy. The money you have in the bank is worth less and less and less. If you want to stabilize your money, you got to go to wordwardebate.gold. Use the promo code WORD, and you too can get in on the Precious Metals game. And if you think you can't afford it, guess again. They got all these different programs. They're Wolfpack stuff. You can get Precious Metals sent right to your house for as little as $50 a month. I'm telling you, stabilize your money right now. It's going to get crazy. Gold, silver, guns, lands, get into them now. You should not hit the table like that. I've been asked not to. I just want to take a moment real quick to thank so many people who worked on the show tonight to make it happen. We had a couple of technical difficulties, but the show went on. It was a huge success. We had over 30,000 people watching a show that for the first time. We had a great crowd. Give the audience a big round of applause. I want to thank, first of all, Ben Swan. This would not have happened tonight if Ben hadn't stepped up. Without Ben Swan, there would be no WW1. Ben, thank you so much for being just gracious and helping us and believing in the whole thing. I want to thank the Enlighten Network. I want to thank David Lugo. I want to thank Nate Pasquale. I want to thank Sean Hibbler. Those guys listened to my pitch, gave me a chance, and I love you. And there was people behind the scenes too, like KJ, we had Tom Jones, and Rob Noir is the ghost in the machine. And we're about to announce the winner. I want to thank all the people. Wow, and the votes are in, and it's a lot closer than some people thought. Trust me on that. And the winner tonight is Anna Kasparian by 14 votes, everybody. 17 votes, if I could add. I flunked first grade. So Anna Kasparian with the big win tonight. Everybody did great. We love you so much. The next one is March 28th, guys. WW2, going to be bigger, better than ever.
All right, everybody, hang on one second. Wait till you motherfuckers hear this shit.
Thank you guys who watched at home. We appreciate you.
I mean, you guys
we'll
watch
see
it
you
or
next
not,
time. Thank you guys very much.
And I have respect for all you guys that fucking support me. Wait till you hear this shit. And I'm going to have to fucking do this again for Enrique. All right. Hold on. Check. All right. Boom. I don't need two fucking cameras of me. All right, everybody. Hi. Are you ready for this? So I went in there. Oh, yeah, they pulled the rug. They absolutely did. And I actually have proof of it. So I went in there and I sat down. And when they went to their first break, I don't know if you guys heard me, I screamed up at Ben. Well, I didn't really scream. I was like, hey, Ben, what questions? He goes, later. And we went into the second one. And then they closed. And then no more.
Yeah, that sucked.
No. They did that on purpose. No. Wait. Listen. Hang on. And that mic's muted. So, me and the security guard from earlier that helped me bounce the fucking drunk out of here. He was all for it. He was because I went in there and I came up to him and I was like, "Hey man, I'm about to shred this woman," and he's like, "Do it." So I sat down. The first round ended. I yelled up at Ben. I was like, hey, we asking questions? And he went like this. I don't know if that was actually caught on camera or not, but he went like this. So, yeah, I wish he would have just let me beat his ass, though. I mean, the security guards here are cool. Dude is very cool. And so we went into the second round. And then we went into the ending statements. And then no questions. And I was like, what the fuck? So this other kid who's a security guard came up to me and he's like, hey, Rob. And he goes, everybody's going up to the fourth floor to the VIP. And I was like, okay, cool. When are we asking questions? He goes, we're not. I said, what? So I was like, all right. So I got up, and the other security guard, the one I was originally telling you about, he's like, yo, man, he goes, when you sat down, we all got the call, no more questions from the audience. This is what the security guard told me. I know 100% that Anna was like, no fucking questions, especially from that fucking dude. Yes, I will bring the security guard in here and I will sit him down right next to me. Oh, I was sitting right in the front row. I mean, I was literally fucking 10 feet from her. No, it wasn't rigged. No, it wasn't rigged. I mean, they didn't want the it absolutely wasn't rigged because I've been dealing with the people on this, and if you guys trust me or trust in me, I would tell you if it was rigged. I mean, I don't have any kind of financial gain by lying to you, and I never would. And if it was rigged, I'd be the first one to fucking squawk about it. Because I don't fucking play that game. No, it definitely wasn't rigged. I think it was purposely mismatched. Obviously, Anna, and this is my quasi-professional opinion, obviously Anna is much older and been debating for 20 years. It's just like anything you do in life. If you do it, the more you do it, repetition makes you good at it. Anna was a much better debater in this. She's full of shit in everything. With jujitsu. Oh shit, that's a funny fucking statement. I gotta put that up. Yes, fucking. I got my $7,000 Jew check. Anna was a much better debater. She slung bullshit because she's yelling at Pearl about backing up facts, and she couldn't back up her own. She was just, I'm Anna Kasparian, and I'm going to give you a number, and you're going to deal with it. No, bullshit. So anyway, it wasn't rigged. I think it was mismatched, and I think they knew that it was mismatched as far as Pearl being able to do something like that live. Yes, she was absolutely out of her wheelhouse. You guys heard Gavin. I know you did. I heard him in there, and there's like a 3-minute delay from when I heard him talk and to you guys hear it. I think that Pearl dropped more actual facts of the reality of what happens nowadays with feminism, third and fourth wave feminism. I mean, most of you guys have heard me talk about this for 2 years on spaces before the show, and now ever since, holy shit, June when I started this show. I have not changed my tune. And here are the facts. And this is what I was gonna say. And then I'm gonna end this thing because I have to pack all of this stuff up, go pack it up, and pack up the truck, and we have to head out to our next place is Massachusetts, and then from Mass, I'm going back to New Hampshire for a little while. And then I don't want to talk out of school, but it looks like we quite possibly going to Minnesota. So, yeah. But anyway, so here's what I was going to tell her. I was going to ask her, Anna, do you know how many women killed themselves in 2024? Because the data for 2025 isn't out yet. Well, in 2024, and she's going to say no, because she doesn't really truly know the facts. 9,869 women killed themselves. Do you know how many men killed themselves in 2024? 50,000. 50,000. How many of those men, what's the percentage of those men, of those 50,000, were single or divorced. I'll wait. 71%. 71%. No, of that of the 50,000, 29% were other, which in that stat would mean that, I mean, listen, the current stats on veteran suicide is 22 a day. So 22 men a day, 22 veterans a day kill themselves. And listen, if you're interested in learning about this, there is a website and a charity and a self-help. There's two that are really, really, really great. There's the Grunt Style Foundation. Check them out. And 22 Kill. And I've donated to both of those over the years. And it was 22 Kill before Grunt Style started their foundation. And Grunt Style's doing amazing things, especially with natural remedies for PTSD, and no more SSRIs, no more, juicing them up with, antipsychotics or psychotropics. They work with homeopathic methods to try to, relieve the PTSD in these guys, and they're doing a really great job. But anyway, all right. So, what is the stat, Anna? What is the actual percentage of marriages that end in divorce in the first 5 years? What's the national stat? Oh, you don't know? 85%. 85% of all marriages end in divorce within the first 5 years. 85%. Of that 85%, how many of those divorces were initiated by women? 95 fucking percent. 95. Within the first 5 years. Why is that? Well, I can tell you. And I use this as an example. It's not indicative of them all, but it's an umbrella. So I've worked in construction for 30 years. Most of you guys already know that. And every single guy on the fucking job site, every single one, you walk up to any fucking construction site where they're framing a house, you ask all the guys how many times you've been married or how many times you've been divorced. Every single guy I've ever met, except for one or two, have been divorced at least once. Some of these guys have been divorced 3 times. And the story is always the same. One guy said to me, he goes, Rob, if you don't believe me, I will get you the court documents. Now, this was in Massachusetts. She divorced him because she didn't like the fact that when he took his socks off, he took them off inside out. I am not kidding you. Yes, he would take his socks off inside out, leave him at the foot of the bed overnight because he didn't, he worked. And if you've never worked in fucking construction, you motherfuckers don't have a goddamn fucking clue what tired truly fucking is. When my son was born, I became a stay-at-home dad. I was with him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for fucking the first 6 years of his life. His mother was there, okay? And one day I'll get into that story. But I had this little woodworking thing that I made actually a lot of fucking money at, doing like custom tables and shit like that. And, I'd put him down for a nap, and I had my woodworking shop in the basement, and I would go down in the basement and I would build these things, and they would be fucking, so I still made money. Taking care of a child, a baby, and I've done it. And you know what? I'm doing it now. I have my daughter 80% of the time. I have her for 3-4 weeks at a time by myself. So I've done it. I know what it is to get up. I change fucking diapers. 11 times a day, I'm wiping a tiny little vagina. I know what it is. I give her baths. I feed her. I know what it is to take care of a child all day long. I do know what that tired is, but it ain't nowhere motherfucking near framing a house for 10 hours a fucking day and driving for 2 hours. Go fuck yourself if you could ever compare playing with a beautiful fucking baby, sitting there with her or him, teaching her sign language and teaching her letters and teaching her words and looking at that big smile on her face. Because you got to feed her and change her and wipe her fucking dirty ass. You think that it's fucking hard or anywhere near what it is in fucking construction? You can fucking kiss my ass. No fucking way. There's very few jobs on this planet, very few jobs that are harder than fucking construction, and especially fucking framing. I would say working on an oil rig is vastly harder than fucking framing a house. There's no doubt. I look at that shit. I look at fucking Roughnecks and I go, yeah, I could do it. I would give it a try. I wouldn't stop, but those motherfuckers are hardcore. That's some hardcore shit. And that's fucking real man work. Working on oil rigs, doing that shit. Sorry, plumbers, your job ain't hard. Sorry, electricians, your job ain't hard. You drill a few holes, you pull some wire. You wire up a box. You're just glorified tech guys. And I say that with all the love for the subs that I have. Anyway, so when you're swinging a hammer for 10 hours a fucking day, and then you're driving for 2, you're not going to fucking tell me, nobody on this planet's ever going to fucking tell me that being home with a baby is fucking harder than doing that. Fuck right off. So the guy comes home, barely capable of even fucking walking. His old lady's going, bah, 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 bitching, because that's all they fucking do is bitch. Women today can't recognize a man that goes out and fucking kills himself. He's fucking dead tired. All he wants is a fucking modicum of solace and peace. That's it. But they get offended when we're like, we shut down and we tune them out. They get offended by that, and it just incenses them to get even fucking nastier and more henpecking. They can't recognize that the man who's out fucking busting his fucking knuckles, busting his fucking back, fucking dealing with fucking bullshit on a fucking job site all goddamn motherfucking day, all he wants is a little bit of fucking quiet. Let me get home. Let me sit down. Let me pull my motherfucking boots off. Or better yet, you know what? If you actually did appreciate me, come on over here and take my boots off for me. Not in a subservient way. In an appreciative way. I want to kick up my motherfucking feet and I want to fucking zone out, decompress. Give me 5 fucking minutes of peace and quiet. But no, the second he walks through the door, this is why guys shut down. This is why men in relationships get cucked out, because they're beaten down by this fucking incessant goddamn fucking nagging about every motherfucking thing on the planet. And we don't give a fuck. Honestly and truly, there's no man that gives a fuck what you're saying. We yes you to death to shut you the fuck up. That is the truth. I will be the only man on this planet that tells you the fucking truth about this. What, you think I care about being fucking single? I don't. I'm happy. It's quiet. It's peaceful. I don't fucking answer to anybody. So I don't give a fuck about saying whatever's right to fucking make sure you get on my fucking dick. You're either going to do it or you're not. And I don't care either fucking way. Nobody does me like me. I don't give a shit. But this is what feminism has done to men. This is what feminism has caused most men to think today. No way am I going to put up with your fucking bullshit. Not only that, I got to pay for everything. I got to do everything. I got to work all fucking week and then fucking work on the fucking house. And I get no motherfucking appreciation. I'm saying as a generalized statement, by the way. A lot of this isn't intrinsic, but I understand it. I empathize with it. So she divorces this guy because he comes home, he sits on the bed, he takes his fucking shoes off, he takes his fucking socks off inside out, leaves them on the bed, and knocks out. And then flips out on him because his socks are inside out. And says, fuck this, I want a divorce. That's just one. That's one of many. I implore you, go, if you see somebody fucking framing, if you see somebody framing a house, and you really want to understand what I'm talking about, let's see if you actually have the balls to do this. Go on that site and ask how many guys are married. Ask how many guys have been married more than once. Ask how many of them that their fucking wives have run them through the fucking ringer when it comes to fucking child support and alimony. Ask them. Go out in the real motherfucking world like I've been, especially with this topic. I've been on job sites all over the fucking country. So I'm telling you from experience. There's a reason why the opioid addiction in framing and in construction is so fucking prevalent. These guys get hooked on pain pills because they're fucking in pain all the time. And then when they realize not only does it numb the pain in their body, it numbs the pain in their brain of the fucking person that they're supposed to be with for the rest of their goddamn lives. Because they're not making it any better. No man will ever ask a woman to make their life easier. We just don't want you to make it harder. That's the thing. Shit's hard enough out there. Don't be one more thing in a man's life that a man regrets and a man thinks is harder. Don't be that one extra thing because you're supposed to be the only thing in his life that's not hard. Everything else in this world, since its inception, since God made it, and then dumb douchebag fucking Eve biting the apple and fucking mankind, yes, I said mankind, to suffer, to toil and suffer. So if you're a Christian, if you're a supposed Christian, you believe in the story of Adam and Eve. Well, Eve was hoodwinked by a snake. Wow. Isn't that analogous to what's going on today? And the women, Eve was the first feminist. Tell me she wasn't. Ain't no man going to tell me what to do. That motherfucker told me I can't eat that apple. And then all it took was a little fucking pushing from a fucking snake. You know, most of these women's friends, you know, if you have a wife, guys, and all of your women, all of your wife's friends are single women, the worst thing possible. Fucking nagging little biddies in their ear. So what do? So what did Eve do? Eve, because she had the pussy. Oh yeah, no, and Adam was the first cuck, by the way, just to let you know. So if I'm going to be fair, I'm going to be fair. Yes, Dr. Carolyn, I know, and I got the winky. Eve, being the first feminist, then said, oh, well, a man told me that I can't do this, and I'm going to do it because a man told me not. And then she went to Adam, and she was like, listen, you want this fucking pussy, you're going to bite this fucking apple with me. And Adam was like, nah, I can't get with you. I can't get with this. And he fucking fought with her for a little bit. And he was like, but I guess the pussy was too good. I know that's vulgar. Trying to make a little bit of fucking humor here, but whatever. And he did. So what? Because he was, pussy whooped. Men were doomed to toil and struggle. Excised from the Garden of Eden. And again, that's analogous to where we are today. But see, I could do this because I've been debating people this for fucking 20, 30 years. I've been saying the same shit over and over and over again. I would have went up there and shredded fucking Anna. They don't want me up there. I would have made their fucking star look like shit. Now, I normally wouldn't be saying this to you guys if I didn't get the information that I got from the security guard. Oh, well. It is what it is. I tried, guys. I tried. I am incensed more than I have ever been to do. Yeah. I know you did. I know. What is it like? What time is it here? It is almost midnight. So it's what, 6 a.m. over there? Seuss? No, it's all right. Or Bees, it's all right. I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna go upstairs and be like, "Roar, what the fuck?" Roar. And really, I wasn't going to be disrespectful to her. I know you guys were thinking I was going to be. But no, I was going to shred her with numbers. Yeah, so I was close. I was going to shred her with numbers. And I was just going to make her look like a fucking fool with all of the facts and numbers I have stuck in this fucking brain of mine. But with that said, the last just about 10 hours, I want to tell you guys I appreciate everybody coming, all the comments, everybody that was watching today. I think we had a total of like 7,000 live viewers, which is fucking awesome. I truly appreciate it. I was hoping that a security guard would come in here so he could back me up, but I know you guys believe me anyway. So we're heading back to Mass tomorrow. We're fucking out of the city. I will not be doing my show on Monday. I am going to sleep all day. I'm going to shower in my shower. I'm going to sleep in my bed. Hi, KJ. Yeah. I'm going to scratch my nuts in my own bed. I had to say that. My fucking nose is really stuffed up. And probably going to play some fucking Arc Raiders. And then I will see you guys on Wednesday on my show, Critical Mass with Patriot Rob. I think we are going to probably on Tuesday, because I think we all going to need some fucking rest after this. I think that we'll be doing our show, the Lords of War News Brief, on Tuesday. I think Monday is just completely out. There'll be other people on. And then Wednesday I'll do my show. We'll do a space. We'll talk about this whole weekend, this whole week, and this whole weekend if you guys want on the space. I think I'm gonna do an after action report, like a real one. Give you guys a little more in depth of what happened in fucking DC, and that's about it. You guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Thank you for joining Enrique, all of us here in the Warboy Studios. Thank you from Patty. Patty's love to hate to love. And I got to tell you, if there was a, no, I'll save it. I'll save it. But yeah, everybody at the Warboy Studios, thank you all for watching. I got left to say goodbyes, and I am going to pack this shit up. I am going to go upstairs to my room. And, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sam Tripoli. Hey, Sam. You look wrecked, bro. We're live right now. Say hi to the audience.
Hi, guys. Just want to say thank you to everybody who watched the stream. Appreciate. How many people watched?
We had 7,200.
That's fucking huge, dude. So
I usually get like 23,000, 24,000.
Yeah, dude. It was the NFL.
It's not. I'm not trying to flex. I'm just.
No, dude. All good, dude. All good, dude.
Everybody likes me being an asshole.
Yeah. Well, you know what, dude? You do it well, bro.
Dude, you know what the security guard told me?
What?
The second I sat down and I said to Ben that I wanted to ask a question, they fucking killed it. They were like, "There's no fucking way that dude's asking Anna fucking nothing."
No. Listen, I'm telling you, in her contract, no questions. Hand to God.
Well, the security guard said, "Rob, the second you sat down, they called us over the thing. No questions."
I promise you.
Right.
My children.
Let me live in my fantasy then.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Dude, I can't believe they did that to you, dude. That's just so fucking rude. Who the fuck? What lizard people made a call, dude?
Iran's exploding. What?
Oh, no.
Dude, we killed the Ayatollah.
Did we really?
Yeah. You didn't see that this morning? Well, I don't know if we did. Listen, Iran pre-1979, we all want that back.
Yeah. Hey, listen, look up, if you can, look up the Greater Israel, map of the Greater Israel Project. Look up the map of ancient Babylon.
Yep.
They're exactly alike.
Huh. I will.
All right, guys.
All right. Take it easy, man. It was a pleasure meeting you. Good. All right. So there is I have a friend actually who lives in Iran. He's been in spaces with me before, and I've talked to him outside of this, and I'm going to have to shoot him a text and be like, "Hey, how are you doing, bro? We're brothers in metal." I mean, I guess the people that aren't Muslim in Iran are fucking hardcore metalheads, which is fucking based as shit. I love it. Yeah, we've been out of the loop. We've been driving all around, fucking setting this shit up. And I mean, shit, I didn't even check my Telegram for an entire day yesterday. And I had some pretty woman say, "Well, is there something wrong with your Telegram?" And I was like, "No, I just didn't check it." And she was like, "Oh, okay." We need more women like that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Your support means everything to me. And Enrique and I are going to talk for 8 hours in the car tomorrow. And we will be announcing very soon what we're doing and where we're going next, because we are taking this shit on the road. We found that we can do it. I just need to bring the bigger Rodecaster with me. And we killed it, man. We got rid of the technical issues. I have the fucking Starlink. And I think we're taking the show on the road for real. So, good night, everybody. Thank you again.
See you, boys. I got to take Bucky home.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self for sure. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Peter said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us.
Oh, I think we're still live. Shit.